Good, good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to the West Ham review. Yes, I've just seen a comment in there. Looking forward to the explanation. Brendan saying, for some reason, the link that I sent Budgie wasn't working. Tried to reset the thing, and it just killed the stream off altogether. And I quickly set it all back up again. So do apologise to everyone in the chat that was with us. And yes.
I'm not taking responsibility for any of this. All I did was press buttons. Good evening, everybody.
And as you can see, my posthumous guest is with me as always, my co-host, Budgie.
Yeah, mate, them words get worse and worse every fripping week, don't they, eh?
Work my way through the Urban Dictionary, I think I try and get
I can see you every Tuesday night or Wednesday night, you're there on like Google Encyclopedia or something, looking for really good words.
I think it's some others, don't worry. As always, let's say hello to the people in the chat. And Brendan's starting off with you killed that great chat, Ton. Evening to you and Budgie. Evening to yourself, mate. And yeah, it's quite a hot and muggy one tonight. I mean, weather-wise. And I'm also prepping for a job interview for tomorrow as well. So, of course, that's probably been playing on my mind as well. So that could be another reason.
What, is this like a move up the ladder or a different job completely?
Hopefully, mate. Yeah, hopefully it's a move up the ladder. It's still at the airport. Hopefully it's
all the best for that, mate. All the best.
Mate. Thank you very much. But I say I'm not liking the crown. We prefer a poop emoji. Michael Blees saying good evening to yourself as well. Welcome back, Brendan. And they're saying, Stephen, good to see you as well. Evening again, guys. Loving everyone here. Stephen, looking forward to the explanation. He's laughing at that as well. Michael saying, I can see the crown is when logged on, so Brendan has won for first. Stephen says, why is my pink thing? I want a purple one. We'll have to look at that. That's an interesting one. Pink thing.
Why has he got? Yeah. Why? What? Okay, let's not talk about the pink and purple thing.
You stole my number one, Stephen. Come on now. Sorry, there, Togsy's saying. Michael's saying looks like crowns are the last three trats. Good. I can see why. Michael was just taking our crowns. James, Glenn Prue, good evening to yourself. Even Tony Budgie in the chat. Is that purple emoji? How many times you burn Marie? Yes. Yeah, I said, getting used to this new one. Matt is saying, did Tony break it again? As I got a thing saying, video removed by uploader. Yes, Matt, you're not wrong, mate. And good evening to yourself. I'll take all the pelters. Steve said, apart from a proper shit show, what are you expecting this summer? Ooh, Jesus.
Antonio to be on the bench.
Oh man, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, the rumor mill's already starting off, and it hasn't taken that long to kick start in. But I can't believe that the lap is going to bloody Chelsea.
Believe it, mate, because it was always going to be Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, maybe even Tottenham. But he was never coming to us.
No, probably not. But of all clubs to go to, he's going to be a bit part, isn't he? I don't understand that. I thought he'd go for maybe something a little bit higher, but I suppose it is a step up for him in certain respects from Ipswich.
Well, they've just won the Europa Conference League, meaning that they're the only club in the world that have ever unified all of the trophies available to a club in Europe. All the major ones, including the World Club Cup now as well. They've got as well, haven't they? And they've just qualified for Champions League anyway. So their Conference League win means that their Europa League slot is going to be available, which means that it could go down to 9 people this year.
That'd make it very interesting.
9 teams. It could quite easily go down to 9. You got to remember also, Europa League qualification's already been secured by
Yep.
And Tottenham are in the Champions League now. So, yeah.
Yeah, some interesting ones.
Yeah,
And obviously,
it's gonna be
and Villa's in.
mix up in that European competition or competitions.
And the question is, if we do buy and we buy right, then hopefully the remit is to get back into Europe. That'd be be nice if we can do that at least.
I think that's always the club's ambition, to be honest with you, Tony. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the board, as everybody who knows me would know. I was never a big fan of Graham Potter before he came in. I said he wasn't Premier League quality. These last 6 months have sort of proved me right.
Yeah.
5 months or whatever. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet. What I'm trying to say is that the club aspiration, it has to be to qualify for Europe again. It has to be. Anything less than that is unacceptable, because we've had a taste of 3 years of it in a row. We've missed out for a year, and now we need it back again. And if that means that next season we go and win a trophy and qualify for Europe, then fair play. That'll do. That'll do for me, Donkey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that a lot of West Ham fans would probably like it to see us lift some silverware rather than win nothing and qualify for Europe.
Yeah.
I'm probably not 100% right on that. It's probably somewhere in the high 60% mark. I would guess that would like to see silverware come into the London Stadium.
Would be nice to get back at that.
Yeah, whether that be the League Cup, the FA Cup. We've already got a European trophy in there now.
It needs some
and to be fair, as I said, I'm not a fan of the board or anything, but they did promise us European glory. European football. We've now, our first trophy in 47 years, 43 years, is a European trophy.
That's the key thing.
He kind of delivered on his promise. Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, he'll brag on that, but let's hope we don't give him too much pleasure. Obviously, Matt's saying wish YouTube would stop messing with stuff, and they're saying low in it. Welcome, Harry. Good to see you as well, back in the game. And I've seen a few people making these comments. What are these crowns about? Well, I've just looked, and apparently there is actually a community leaderboard. I don't know how much that kind of changes things. And let me have a look there. So at the moment, Harry is number 1, and yeah, weird.
I don't think I'm going to have a look on my phone. Have a look on my dog, mate. See what these crowns are about.
Yeah, apparently it's a community leaderboard.
Excellent. Oh, hold up. There we go. Turn the volume down.
Don't know who that bloke. Harry, my man. Howdy again. Happy.
Yeah.
Brendan said I've lost my crown altogether now, for fuck's sakes. Happy saying Smugs and Tony. How are we doing, Happy? Hope you're good. Lone Star, good afternoon to yourself, sir. Tone and Budgie, how are you saying?
Good evening, everybody. Evening. Look, number 2, Happy. Number 1, Harry. Number 3,
Michael, please.
Michael, yeah.
Matt's saying we've got crowns, but West Ham have lost their marbles. Look, Lone Star saying, "Oh, look, it's Budge."
Hello, Lone Star. Fancy seeing you here.
Happy saying, "I've never had one so don't stress, Togs. Crowns are for pussies." Good evening, Mama. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Evening, Tont and Budgie, and evening to the chat. And as always,
hi, Mama.
Brendan saying, "Agree, Happy. I wanted a poop emoji." And they're saying like remember as well. Good evening, usual. How are you, Topher? They're a bit concerned about my low blood pressure. Oh, not good, mate. Have they give you any meds? Their usual, or you got to do more tests? So there. Anthony, good evening to yourself, mate. Big up, lads. Hope you're well. Yeah, good.
Good evening, Ant. How are you, son?
Michael say, typical our season, Tony, big fuck up.
Yeah.
That's how we're ending the season in style.
We're going to blame the streaming platform. We're not going to blame Tone. Come on. Let's not blame Tone. Poor fella. Had a stressful day at work and all that.
Yeah.
Got a big old interview due tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. I like you have a crown. Low BP, they're asking to the usual. They're asking there. Matt's obviously saying to Mama, always I'd like to have us join us. Always a pleasure.
Just as a matter of interest, before we get into too much football chat, I don't know how many people are aware, but Happy is attached to a help group for West Ham fans predominantly. And it kind of helps people with their mental status. Yeah, I don't want to say it like that because that sounds wrong, but it's kind of like it helps towards mental health and stuff like that. And Happy puts a lot of time into that. That's why we don't get to see a lot of her. Can I throw the link to that into the chat, Tone?
You should be able to, mate. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm asking permission to, mate.
No, you don't need to, mate. That because mental awareness and that is a big thing. A big advocate of that at work anyway.
Right.
So for Happy and that, fair play to her for doing that.
Copy.
Harry said I could dance usual. That might raise your BP. I move like Jagger. I've done a couple of weeks ago. Usual.
Can I actually put anything into the chat?
You should be able to type in there, mate. Yeah, because what you've got is you've got the stream private. Yeah, you got to move it over.
Have I?
Yeah, because you've got a stream and then you've got the private chat. Yeah, I knew he was going for tests. You hope you're okay. Yeah, sorry to hear that. But at least it's BP.
Sending messages is only supported by hosts.
Okay.
Enjoy the stream.
Just
so I'll get Happy to do it. Happy, can you drop the link into the chat, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mama. So the crowns are for top chatters. Apparently, that's what it's for. Captain Unsafe.
Hey, Colin. Good evening. Sorry, I know I'm a bit premature with that. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, and actually, I was talking to Happy earlier, and I did mention that I hadn't seen him. So it's nice to know he's in tonight.
That's good.
Speak of the devil and he shall appear, isn't it? Something like that.
That's the words, isn't it? Lone Star says, open the job interview ain't for air traffic control, Tony. I'll be fine, mate.
Ground traffic control, mate. He does.
I'll be fine with them table tennis rackets, guiding the planes and whatnot. I'll be all right. Don't worry about that.
Table tennis rackets.
Delay to the rent, boys. Matt's saying, if you need a good word putting in for your interview, we'll all ring up and say you deserve the job. Matt, bless you, mate. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Can you imagine that? Well, Tony, it's nice to see you, mate. Just wanted to let you know we've had 1,400 phone calls telling us where you are. There's only 8 people in your department.
Yeah, they all sounded the same, but with different names.
You know what I mean?
No, I appreciate that. So Brenda's saying Ramsdale between the sticks, Budgie. Yeah. Don't want Ramsdale.
Please don't. Look, do you know something? I would rather us go and get Christian Hagee back from wherever he is, in between the sticks. That boy is so good. I saw a bit of footage of him a couple of days ago.
Yep.
I don't know if he's still on West Ham's book or not, but
he was loaned out, wasn't he? He was loaned out.
Yeah, he was loaned out, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we should get him and give him a shot. Now I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, yeah, another youth player." He's not. He's 23. He's not a youth. He's had first team experience, not necessarily with us, but he's had first team experience, and he's a decent keeper. He's really adventurous as a goalkeeper. He'll come up for the high balls and he'll make sure he gets them. He reminds me a lot of Ludo as a goalkeeper.
Well, I see this morning. I don't know if you saw it, Budge, as well. And the people in the chat apparently. I mean, I like Kelleher, but apparently
Yes.
Brentford's got him from, or they're looking to go in for him. It was announced.
Yeah. But also, there's also talk of a swap deal with Kelleher, Kudus.
That'd be nice.
And cash.
Yeah, I'll take that all day long if that was the case.
Mate, I wouldn't be dead against that because look, we all know Kudus is going to go somewhere. Why not let him go to Champions Elect?
You
know,
true.
Because basically they're not going to let it slide that they lost it this season, are they? They're going to come back stronger.
Of course,
that's what Pep does. That's what City do now. That's what they've begun to, to do about 8 years ago when they had. Oh no, it's a bit more than 8 years ago. It's about 18 years ago when they had Stuart Pearce at the helm. That's when they started picking up really good players and stuff like that. So, Kudus goes to City. We get Kelleher and what, 25, 30 million?
Take that all day long.
I'd be happy with that, and I wouldn't take less than 25 to 30.
No,
that would just be a piss take, if I'm honest.
Unless, of course, if you're in the rumours and that we're looking to just get rid of him, and if that's the case, they're going to take a little bit less. All right, but we get Kelleher, it'd be great. Ramsdale apparently, if rumours are true, is Villa bound of all things.
Well, that really don't surprise me, and it makes me quite happy, to be fair. The fact that he's not going to come to West Ham.
That's a blessing in disguise.
It is. I know people are going to sort of say, look, what is it about Ramsdale I hate? It's not actually a hate. It's more of a dislike for his attitude. I think his attitude stinks, to be fair. He's quite a funny guy at times, I get you. But, I think, there's a lot about him that sort of like gives me the impression that it's all about him.
Yeah.
And I just don't like his character. I think it stinks.
Well, hopefully, as you said, maybe he's going Villa bound with, at least that's every cloud, as they say. Mark was saying Antonio was doing the ECL Cup yesterday with Joe Cole. Yeah, he was in unusual clobber that he was wearing as well last night. And Brendan's obviously mentioned about the Champions League and Palmer for Delap. Because I don't know, Palmer just seemed a bit weird last night. I've never seen him moan so much at the referee. They're all saying like to usual, and actually getting well. Brendan's saying greedy fella, usual. Good luck though. Look, Lone Star Conference League is a Nigger and Spoon trophy, as he said yesterday. Antonio nearly nutted Joe Cole because of his celebrating Michael yesterday. Sending like the usual, and they're all saying thanks. Absolutely, Stephen. Same here. I want Kelleher. I'll have him. I do as well. Happy. I think, I've already said it.
Sorry, not bloody City. Liverpool, isn't it? Liverpool,
yeah.
Liverpool he's with, not City. What was I thinking?
Never mind, man. See, like,
feel sorry for Fab, says Happy. I kind of get that. I do, but to be fair, I think he's not going to get used at West Ham, and if he does, it would only be as a mentor stroke coach.
I would have him as goalkeeping coach, but he's got the experience.
But I think he wants to play some more time.
Yeah, I did hear that as well, mate. He's looking at possibly some Premier League club are going for him. I don't know what that'll be.
It'll be one of the clubs coming up.
Interesting. That'll be interesting.
It will be, because he'll help them.
Yeah.
And who is it that's coming up?
Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley.
Well, don't be surprised if he goes to Burnley.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, well, I suppose Scotty Parker in it rekindling.
Yeah, claret and blue.
Harry says, heaven forbid anything happens, obviously it's for usual. Can you get a family member to let us know if it all goes Pete Tong usual? Yeah. He's still up with them slippers. Brendan's saying, does Mr. Byright still exist? Mr. Byright.
Flipping hell.
There are the days. Matt saying I blame Stein and Loppy for the useless transfer dealings. Yeah, it has cost us, we know that, and hopefully the clear out begins. Yeah, look, Brendan saying, yeah, you really want those slippers, Harry? Dear. Harry's saying there was a very funny guy, always in Stell's early chat, called Frank Butcher. He just disappeared.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he was funny.
Ooh. Brendan's throwing this one in. Speculation that Grealish may be loaned out to West Ham.
Oh. Now, I would take that, actually. I mean, his wages are going to be flipping steep, but if they pay a percentage and we pay a percentage, I don't see anything wrong with that. Maybe the loan fee would be somewhere near double figures, I would think. Maybe just into, Yeah. He's not going to come cheap. Even as a loan signing, he's not coming cheap. But I'd have it. I'd take him.
Well, for a world, mate. I mean, as you said, the fact that if we pay off his wages, we know we've got £125,000 a week going spare at the moment, and Ings has gone. So that could be beneficial.
Yeah. What with Creswell's 80 and Soufal's 50 and Fabianski's 16 or 18 or whatever it was he was on. He weren't on a lot, was he, Fabianski?
No, which is a shame.
But, the thing is, just that all I'm thinking now is that is a player with something to prove. Okay? He's not getting into the Man City side. So he comes to us on loan, a bit like Lingard did, and he proves himself here, right? And while he proves himself here, he falls in love with the club and then forces a move to us. And he agrees to drop his wages because he wants to play at West Ham. I'm talking best case scenario. We then get an £100 million, £80 million player for a fraction of the cost. And, he's willing to drop his wages. And we get kind of a talisman type signing, one of these marquee signings, if you like, even if it is only a loan signing temporarily.
Yeah.
And I think providing Jack Grealish turns up on the pitch and not his twin doppelganger that can't kick a ball, as long as he turns up, we're all good.
Yeah. It won't be a bad thing.
I mean, look, a lot of us groaned when Jesse Lingard came, didn't we? A lot of us groaned. Till the minute that boy tightened up his boots and ran on the pitch. And then we all thought, hang on, how come we didn't go for him last season? We might have got him the season before on a deal,
He wanted too much money, though, but he just got too greedy for himself. He thought he was bigger than the club. That was a problem.
Yeah. And I don't suppose for 1 minute Grealish is like that because you don't come across like that at all.
No, I think overly he's a bit more
level-headed.
A bit more humble. Mama saying Steve Cox hasn't been around for months. Yeah, let's hope he's all right as well, because I know he was a bit poorly, wasn't he? Michael's saying I'd just like to get the fourth round. That'd be nice. He'll take him through the season. Lone Star. You're saying Lord John. Harry replies, who knows me? Best spammer gets number one. Yeah, because at the moment it looks like it's Harry still. He's still number one on the thing. James is saying the owner's holding back this great club. We are big enough to be in Europe and fight for top six. Totally agree on that. And who knows what's going to happen during the summer?
Yeah.
Will we see something happen? It'd be nice if it does. Good evening to 10 Men at the Back. Conference League didn't exist when we moved into the London Stadium. Yes, it was created, wasn't it? This is true.
It was, but I'm not going to allow anybody to belittle that competition.
Apart from Lone Star.
No.
No, of course not.
If you don't mind me saying so, and I mean this with no malice at all. fuck him, right? Because that competition was poo-pooed by Tottenham Hotspur because they flunked, right?
True.
And everybody jumped on board with them, right? And then we go into it 2 years later after Roma had picked it up, and people started going, "Oh, well, hang on a minute, Roma are in it, and they've won it." Then West Ham go in, win it, unbeaten, and now Chelsea have won it. I think they went unbeaten, didn't they?
I can't remember if they did or not, mate, to be honest.
I know they took a couple of draws like we did, but I don't know. They took a loss. But, oh yeah, I think they've. Why? Does my screen keep going black?
No, you're fine, mate. You're fine. I think there's 1 minute the signal went, but it came back again.
It's going black at my end for some reason. I don't know why.
No, see you. Yeah, no problems in that respects.
All right, okay. Yeah, so I won't allow anybody to belittle that competition now because, look, it was a nonsense competition before it was amalgamated and called the Conference League, right? It was, you know, that one that we won. What was it? The Intertoto Cup.
Cool, blimey,
it was the European Conference Cup. It was there was about 5 trophies that meant nothing. They were just pre-season games, really, that spilled into a season.
Yeah.
And you know, but they've made a proper tournament of it, and some decent teams are going through it. So that competition, all right, it might only be the 3rd competition of European football, but it's a European trophy.
Absolutely.
Anyone knocks it, let them go and play in it.
Take it completely. Butcher this. Oh, good evening, Trosh, as well. Good to see you. And yeah, hope Steve Cox is okay in that. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Mum. It's a bit worrying we haven't heard from him for a while now. Let's hope everything's all good there. Happy saying, can we at least have a decent cup run? Embarrassing being knocked out in the round we hit and didn't. This is true. Good evening, Frog. Hope you're good as well. Evening, Tony Budge and fam. Hope we're all groovy and well. Not too bad. Happy saying, Frank Project or Project Frank. James saying, Matt, yeah, with the right leadership, we can be up there. I think, yeah, as long as we get the right people in, I think that's the best part. Oh, Santa Claus, Jesus. For fuck's sake, Frank and Trosdale to the comments. Harry saying, good evening, Anthony. I thought I saw a miniature poodle sleeping in the back of a Talbot Sunbeam in the car park. Talbot Sunbeam. That was a car. It was the Talbot was the American, well, it was the UK version of Chrysler, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember they did the Talbot Avenger Tiger?
Yes, yeah, remember that, yeah.
1725 cc's, twin carburettor. Mate, that was a beast. Until the 998 Mini went flying past them.
Yeah, this is true. Oh, man. That's good. Happy, yeah, brilliant what you do. Yeah. More tests, Tom. Thank you. Yeah, and let's hope they get you. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming they're giving you all the meds and whatnot to do. And as always, you know, we're all looking out for each other and we look out for you as well, mate. Let's hope it's all going to be good. We don't, you know, we want to keep your feet in your own slippers. Don't Harry nicking your slippers at this stage. Colin saying, good evening, Tony and Budgie. You wonderful people. Always a pleasure joining you. Both been quite busy lately. Colin, it happens to all of us, mate, and it's good that you're doing okay.
Yeah, and it's a relief to know that it's because you've been busy and not ill or anything, Colin, because actually Happy and I were talking about you earlier, saying we hadn't seen you for a couple of weeks, so good to know that you're all good, mate. Yeah.
Trosh, it's news to me. It's only when people start putting in the chat, this blue crowd, it's people making the top comments. Mum has already let us know. And it's people making the top comments. So keep whacking them in. You never know. You'll get up the top.
And there's a prize. I have no idea what it's going to be, but there is a prize.
No idea, because I've never seen this before. That was news to me and all, to be honest.
Well, we'll read out your top comment of the night.
Everyone's saying like the Colin as well, which is brilliant. Yeah, so you're saying, Trosh, the more you text, you finish up with one of them. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so
Spammers,
listen,
spammers unite.
We've been on. How long we've been going for now? Half an hour. Oh, we got a bit of time yet. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just catch up with the chat because at the moment we're it's just jumped up to about 212 at the moment. It tells you how many comments we've got left in here. So we're doing all right at the moment. Spammers unite. Brendan's saying Colin's been bedbound, couldn't walk for a week after Barber worked him over. Yes, indeed. Good evening, all you wonderful ladies and gentlemen. Always a pleasure joining you, and it's as always, you know, it's great having the community with us as always. Frog saying Trosh number 2 apparently been said before. Mike was saying the competition for Tony is a sniffer dog. Yeah, I've even got the outfit as well to go with it. Trosh is showing through. And there you go, people. If you've not already seen it, this is the link that Happy was on about. And got to really congratulate Happy for doing for something like this because it's not an easy task, especially with someone that could be in real.
And I will say it is all free. The help is free. And it's impartial and it's as personal as you want it to be. Do you know what I mean? Like it can be as a one-on-one, I believe, and they also have group sessions, etc. So it's all free, and Happy donates her time to it free, along with Alison, I believe it is. And as I said, it's just West Ham fans helping West Ham fans.
Yeah.
So. But, get into it if you need it.
So when I finish this, I'll put it in the description of the video. So it's in the
cool.
Yeah. Fox, as usual, even for you high or low BP. Yes, good shout. Michael Blees saying, I think Heggy's been playing in the Irish League on loan. So if he's getting experience, that's all you want to see. Oh, it's in the low. Okay.
And to be fair, the Irish League is quite a tough league to play in, really, because, them boys, they don't mess about on there. It's almost like professional grassroots rules. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have the VAR and all that nonsense out there.
That's true. Matt's wheeling and dealing already. He says to Mama, can we buy Pope off of Newcastle? You can have Kudus.
Pope. Not a bad shout, actually, Matt.
Good shot stopper. Yeah, it was a good shot stopper.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mandy. Hope you will. Hi, everyone. The Premier League is getting stronger each year. Yeah, we're seeing that now, and that's evident with promoted clubs going back down. Can we find the players within our budget to compete in the top half? It's a good shout. I mean,
that's a really good question.
I mean, it depends what this Macaulay fella can do with Potter.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys and girls, don't forget, hit the like button, and if you ain't already subscribed, please do. Listen, I think that Potter's going to have to work a budget, meaning that player sales and stuff is going to have to play a big part in it. And I do believe we're going to be fishing in the free agent market.
Oh, dear me. Yeah. And that's going to... Well, you never know. I mean, that's what they did at Brighton. They managed to find unknowns and turn them into...
They managed to find £115 million Caicedo, a £50 million, this man, and reputed to be a £80 million Ferguson. These players, they find them. So Macaulay does all of that, apparently.
Be interesting. I mean, hopefully it's gonna work out. I mean, the main thing is, as we always know, the stumbling block is going to be Sullivan.
But then, Sullivan is kind of happy to spend less if he can. And if he's presented with a player that has the potential to become a good sell-on player, I think he'll be right behind them, in my opinion. if he goes and says, look, I can get you X player, he's 29 years old, there's not going to be much of a sell-on value, but I can get him for 18 million, and he's got this record, Sullivan's going to go and get him. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should have just called me up and I'd have sent you a check, kind of thing, but if it's going to be marquee signings. That's the ones that are going to be difficult with Sullivan. Like the 50+ million pound signings.
Well, look at this one much.
They're the ones where we're not going to see much movement in at all.
Well, look, if Liverpool only want 20 million from Keller and that, I mean, bloody snap their arms off for the keeper. I'll take I'll be driving up there to get him now. 20 million.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I would. I mean, the fact is that he's a decent keeper. He's a shot stopper. Liverpool used him in a lot of their cup run as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and even when what's his name was out of action, he stepped up to the plate and that, and he was superb.
He did, Alisson. Yeah, and I believe he played against us in that. Was it Carabao Cup quarter-final or whatever it was?
I believe he did. Yeah, he was decent.
He was decent. I liked him.
Good evening, words and pictures. We have no consistency in owner decisions, manager styles, performances, player performances, transfer signings. We seem to be without direction. There's a few exceptions, barring Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, and hopefully, if he recovers and gets fit, is Somerville. I think we might see a new player in him when he comes back, because I think he's the other one that would also be a shining light. We've got to work around them.
I believe so.
Lone Star says, I feel West Ham transfers will feel like moving the furniture around the Titanic. There is that possibility, mate. That's for sure, because it's not certain where we're going to be going with it. That's for sure. Appy's saying, does seem like perhaps we should have give Fabs another year if he wanted it and focus on outfield players this summer. That's a good shout. I mean, he's still got another good couple of more years in there, I'll say.
Yeah, and and to be fair, there's been a lot of speculation around Areola as well. I'm disinclined to believe much of it. I actually think that he's happy, and now that he's number one, outright number one, I think he gets the number one shirt next season. I don't think he would really want to go anywhere, does he?
Well,
every keeper wants that number one shirt.
Of course they do. Of course they do. But as you know, mate, competition is key, and we can't have him sitting. He's got it too easy. He needs competition to make him step up.
Of course, he needs competition, but like he gets given the number one shirt next season, he's earned it, right?
Well, yeah.
You don't go and sign another player and give him that shirt. That's not good etiquette, and that's not good team morale building.
I get that. I mean, that's the.
He's earned that shirt, mate.
Well, it's like I think we had this last week, isn't it, about Bowen and the captaincy, like giving him. Do we take it off of him, give it to someone else? That's the same thing. Matt saying, we dumped Gerd and Kudos, then bring in some Cotley, he'll be happy. That's all we asked, really, to get some good players in.
Yeah.
Fockett asking me if I was feeling faint, etc. This is obviously usual. Colin's saying to home, I'm okay, darling. You wonderful thing, darling. I cried quite a lot about mental health myself. Been through it a few years back, and it's not easy sometimes to get out of that. So fair play to you as well, Colin, as well. Yeah, because this is the strange one. Obviously, going about the Ramsdale, and that Martinez is leaving Villa. Maybe that's why he got himself sent off too early. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be the reason. It says, I know many of us have lost a lot of faith. This is true, and that we've not really seen anything to get behind. However, I have to remain optimistic, because otherwise it's too depressing. And I mean, we don't want to put that on our club, do we? At the end of the day, we've got to try and get behind them. Matt's saying, it's going to be a London club, budgie, because he's happy in London. Yeah, obviously the movement. Fabs could have done another year as number 2 easy. Definitely agree on that, Mandy. Knocks 500 off the wage bill at least. Trosh is saying, which is it's a decent shout. That's to get a good two good players in for that kind of money.
3.
I suppose we are talking about our chairman, aren't we?
Yeah, maybe. In fact, 125 a pop. You know, you can get 6 players out of that.
Mike was saying, Fab said he will not be moving home, wife and kids happy where he is. That's gives you room to manoeuvre. Yeah, hopefully it does, Trosh. And we're saying, Colin, it's so common and no one should have to go through it alone. We are one big family, 100%.
Yeah. And, you know, Happy has to also explain to me that it's not all doom and gloom. They have a lot of fun while they're chatting and that. You know, it's not all football and it's not all, you know, everything is kind of, it's inobtrusive. That's what I want to say. You know, you go as far as you want to go with things.
Let me write that word down on that. I'll use that for next show with Budgie's news. Good evening, Aces. Hope you're doing well. Matt saying as well, yeah, well said, Happy. I'm always happy to talk to anyone struggling with anything too. Well done, Matt. Love that. Troz, you're not wrong here, mate. Ignore speculation for another 2 months. Yeah, we're going to hear that wheel grinding straight away with what we're going to be attached to. It's going to be an absolute joke. Yeah. I advise Aces is saying hello to you as well, Budge.
Evening, Aces.
Frog says, usually I had it since a child, used to black out every now and then, have to watch going between hot and cold temps. Yeah. Grealish is 29-30 now. Yeah, so probably fits our remit.
Yeah.
Usually same question. Who is the West Ham coach at the moment?
West Ham coach? Oh, God. My bloody screen keeps going blank.
Does it?
Getting on my nerves.
Well, I suppose the main one, obviously, he's the head coach, isn't he? And it was underneath him.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, there are some of the, like, there's the, his old goalkeeper. What was his name? No, was he goalkeeper? No. Defender, wasn't he? The big black guy. Bruno? Yeah, Bruno, I think his name was. He's there. There's a couple of coaches, I think. You know, that we know. I think there's a couple of the, you know, club employed coaches.
Oh, yeah. So Bruno, he's the assistant coach. Billy Reid, first team coach, and Xavi Valero is the goalkeeper coach. So that's
yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Manny's saying Grealish needs a club of European football to get back into the England team. Yeah, I mean, he's fell out of favour with Pep, and that's for sure.
Yeah.
Matt's saying Grealish is at City budget, not Man United. He knew what he meant.
I knew what I meant.
Brendan's saying Grealish won't come to West Ham. He still has all his own hair. Bad deal. Harry said, he goes back and sits on the bench, then goes to Forest and sits on their bench. Yeah, Budgie rings a bell. Yeah, obviously, Lingard. Because he signed for them for, 120, 125 million, something like that, or 150. And, but yeah, you know what I mean? That was a waste of time going to Forest.
Of course it was.
Happy saying, do love a bit of East Ham Uni. Oh, dear. Plus, Grealish likes his drink, hence falling out with Pep. Thank you very much. That gives you this. That just says it all.
You fit in well down here.
Happy saying, give the channel like fuckers.
Fuckers.
Troy said, I'll click like if you give me 75 XP. How'd you give XP? She said, yeah. I don't know how that. Well, he's joking. I've clicked. Thank you very much, people, as always. Nice one, Stephen. Colin saying, "Yep, happy that is actually true. I'm always to help people. To say I have to look after someone with dementia. That's not easy, Colin. Also going to care homes to help people, and there is people there with mental health. And yeah, I mean, it's a big thing at our workplace as well. And also, I'm waiting to get on to be a mental first aider myself, actually, at work. So yeah, it's quite.
And just a reminder, when we do our Green Street Elite section, we dedicate that section to people that are affected by dementia and cancer. So
yeah,
you know.
no, exactly. Lone Star saying following players were moved: Rashford, Grealish, Bowen, Sancho. Well, it looks like they're trying to renew the contract there with Chelsea with him. Delap, why World Cup next year? Got to cement the squad place. Thoughts, Budgie, on those people?
Oh, look, I know for a fact that Bowen has said he is not leaving West Ham United, right? Unless the club sell him under his nose, and he's got no choice. He's going nowhere. He's not going to ask to leave, and he's not going to agree to leave. Okay, so I don't know about Rashford. I think you'll find he'll probably end up at Villa on a permanent. Grealish, as we've said, he could go out on loan to a club like West Ham or, Wolves or, one of the mid-table teams that are going to play him. And who else was it?
So you got Delap. Delap's obviously kind of.
Delap, he's going already.
He's going Chelsea as well, and say Sancho. He's apparently, or these representatives in talks about renewing his contract at Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
So that should be there. Mark saying it's okay. Lone Star supports the only team without a Europa trophy badge. So don't worry about it. He's saying. 10 men at the back saying Chelsea lost the game. There, Coach, we're still undefeated.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, 10 men.
Just like to play hard. Lone Star saying we won the Women's Champions League, not the Egg and Spoon Conference. And as we said, fair play to the Arsenal women's team because, that was not easy to get over that line. And well done to them.
No, it weren't. And to be fair, throughout the history of women's football, Arsenal's women's have always been one of the top teams in the world. So, fair play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not surprised they won it, but well done.
Good evening, Peter. Good to see you. It's been a while. Good evening, he says. I didn't know Injun Bracket had made a comeback. Injun Bracket.
Hey, funny bugger.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, great.
Good evening to more folks as well. People belittle the Conference League because it's new, just like the Europa League used to be. Looked down on until it became more established. There you go. See? Well done. And that just says it all. I mean, as you said, what was it? The Rumbelows Cup, Intertoto Cup, the Milk Float Cup. Jeez.
Yeah, Milk Float.
Peter says, think Potter isn't the answer. He's level with Swansea where he belongs. Yeah, I mean, I think we know he's got to be here for the moment. If it doesn't work out, then you've got to think the club's got to react quickly. If they don't do that, then we are. I think we will have to worry then at that point.
Yeah.
Usual saying, biggest off-season transfer will be Rice going to a big club. Yeah, because he's even alluded to himself and that he could possibly move on.
Well, he's already said something, has he?
He's mentioned it. If it's because at least he's looking to. I mean, let's put it this way. Let's have a look at this. Look at what's his name, Trent Alexander. The Liverpool fans turned on him, and it's a case of he's won everything at Liverpool, and he's looking to go to Real Madrid, and they've belittled him for that. And it's like, well, he's improving himself by going to a bigger club. Liverpool's a big club, we know that.
Yeah.
He's going to one even bigger.
Yeah.
He's won everything.
I mean, look, I suppose the comparison to that is when Lewis Hamilton announced he was leaving Mercedes after all them years and going to Ferrari. Now, every Formula One driver every driver in the world wants to drive a Formula One for Ferrari. Every race car driver in the world wants that. Every one of them. So, and like even Toto Wolff said, it hurts, but I understand. and that's really, you know, and that's really why I can't hold grudges against the likes of Paul Ince, even though he did what he did. Can't hold a grudge against him, you know. Rio Ferdinand was sold from under his own feet. He didn't even know it was happening until he got till he was told he was going to Leeds. But his move to Man United was one that he wanted, you know, and fair play to him.
And we missed out on that as well, you know. Yeah. I think sell-on clause, how we missed out on players like that. Just sacrilege. Harry's saying, I used to work with a young man, one-to-ones dealing with drug addiction using Gnostic principles and meditation to overcome the addiction and build a spiritual foundation. Superb. I mean, it's, you know, it's nice hearing stories like that. I mean, that just shows you what a diverse group we've got in the you know, our community as well. Matt's also saying he knew someone with a Talbot Sunbeam, a friend at school. His mum had one. I say, I'll never forget me mate. His dad bought, what was it now? A Lancia Beta. See it rusting before your eyes, and he painted the whole thing in Hammerite. hand painted it as well, Budge. Oh, easy.
Yeah, we did that with a little old Commer van. Probably before your time, Tone, Commer vans, but
no, I remember the old Commer vans, mate. Yeah,
quite the old sliding doors and all that. Yeah, we did that with one of them because, you know, we used fiberglass instead of metal to repair the doors and that, and a bit of filler, and then we painted it all with Hammerite inside and out. We used about 2 gallons of Hammerite on the fucking thing. It was huge, compared to well, I suppose it would be like a Volkswagen TD5, you know, transporter now, about that sort of size. But oh my god, it was hilarious.
More protected to the Sherman tank kind of thing with the Hammerite paint on it, basically.
Well, we had to scrape it off the glass with Stanley blades because we weren't being that careful. And we forgot to inform DVLA of the colour change.
Oh, bloody hell.
Went from post office yellow to black, and we forgot to inform DVLA, so we got pulled over by the police once. And there's me and my mate in this van, both skinheads, you know what I mean? Dr. Martin boots and all that.
Dear
and we were actually on our way to Croydon to meet up with a few other lads to get a train up to the game. We were playing West Brom at home, and we got stopped by the police, and they said, you know, you haven't informed DVLA of the colour change, you know, that's why we pulled you over. And he goes, but as we were walking up, we realised you'd done it by hand with Hammerite. I said, yeah, we've done the inside and all, mate. He went, really? So I said, yeah, open the back up and have a look. He opened the back up. There's like 2 other blokes in the back of the van, and they're like, all right, boys. It's like, yeah. Back then, they didn't care if you had people in the back. It just didn't matter to them. And, and they were like, oh, where are you off to? We're going to Croydon. We're going to park up in Croydon. We're going on the train to London. We're going to go and watch the game. Blah, blah, blah. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Then, well, who's not drinking for the way home? I said, don't worry, mate, that's me. You know, this cop was like, well, make sure you don't drink. He said, we're going to be keeping an eye on you. I was like, all right, fair enough. Moody kit.
Brilliant. Happy saying, anyone wants to join me in the support group, feel free to use the link. Some great people from all walks of life, great banter and listening here. We run weekly group calls that you can get involved in. That's brilliant. So I'm just trying to find, where has it gone there? Do you think I can find it? No.
What are you looking for? That link again?
No, I've got the link in there. It's just actually putting it into me chat. I'll get there anyway in a minute. Right. There it is. Make West Ham great again said good evening as well. Did Arsenal have their second again parade? Whose mic is making feedback? Let us know if it still is doing that.
It's not me, because at one point I muted myself like I'm about to now.
Yeah, let me know if it's still doing it as well, people. Would be appreciative. Peter's saying Potter always looked like he doesn't know where he is in the products conference. Yeah, a bit of a shame that if he's doing that.
Maybe it was me.
We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah.
And again, there is the link, people. Frog says, I want to be positive, but can't do it just for the sake of it. Potter stats give me no confidence whatsoever. Is it me?
Yeah, definitely. I was on mute,
Mm-hmm.
and it was still feeding back. So
Interesting. I did this last week, didn't I?
yeah, I think it's this platform.
Could be.
Because on the platform that I'm using, which is Restream, it lags so badly. When I play a video, I can't actually watch the video, but when I watch the playback of the recording, it's all there. It's all fine. But while I'm actually watching it, it lags like buggery. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. StreamYard seems to be the only one that runs smoothly. Might have to go back to it.
Yeah, I tried to use that StreamYard. I must admit, it weren't exactly.
Don't get me wrong; it's not as flash as the others. You know, like the other ones, Restream and this one, they've got more stuff that you can do with it. But StreamYard just seems to be reliable.
Yeah. Oh, let me just update that. There you go. I've put the link in the telescript at the bottom. Stack in your ear. I just see the comment. Where is it now? Let's catch up with the chat because it's actually jumped a million miles. That's the only thing I would say about this part is that it's a little bit different. Big up to David Shear. Big up Coppers and Cobbets. Hope you're doing well, David. Good to see you. And well done, mate, for doing this. He's gifted 5 Hammers Football TV memberships out to people. Budgie, you are one of those. You're one of those people who've been gifted.
Wow. Thank you very much, David.
Yep. So Words and Pictures was gifted a membership by him as well. Happy saying, honestly, I struggle with the pressers. That's an intake of breath, does my Sweden. Yeah. Steve Bell has also been gifted one as well. Big up to McManus Gaming, if he's in here still. He was gifted a members chat as well. Big up to you, McManus. And obviously Budgie as well. And good evening to Ted the Hammer. He's also been gifted a membership as well. Lovely.
Very kind of you, David.
And he's saying, yeah, come on, you Spurs. Laugh out loud to Budgie. Colin's also saying, yeah, I'm not confident for next season myself. I don't feel Potter is the man, and with Sullivan in charge, he'll have no confidence. Yeah. Frog saying, Budgie, you got a free membership. Fix.
Yeah. It's actually done by YouTube. It's not done by the channel or the person gifting them. It's like you just gift 5 or whatever a number, and then YouTube decides who gets them.
Sounds like dogged. Troger's saying about the thing. It's Amanda and I. Group sessions, yeah. Troj. Are we saying there's any baby oil involved? Evening, Steve. He's saying thank you, Mr. Burke. He's saying thank you very much to David. And they're saying hello to each other. David Shear saying, what's the collective for a mob of doggers? There's got to be something, mate. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Nice one, man. Pope, Peter saying Pope always seems very cross when I watch him.
Yeah, he does seem to be very passionate. Yeah, he does.
And they're saying hello to each other, Mr. Bill. There you go. A stroke of doggers, apparently, how he's saying.
Stroke of doggers. Trust Howard to know what it is.
Michael says, question, has the Prem become a closed shop?
It's looking like it's moving towards it. And if too many American ownerships happen, then it will happen. Yes, it will become a close shop, like the MLS.
Yeah. Frog saying it's a splash. The Doggers a splash, apparently. Matt
A
saying
stain of Doggers.
Oh man.
Fucking hell.
Stephen's saying a collective name for Doggers are called Gooners. Yeah, hopefully he's back off the way to Brighton there. This one, Ferguson, because that was a waste, wasn't it? Absolute waste.
It was, and we all had a lot of hope for the boy.
Yeah, it just didn't work out, did it, mate?
That's what happens when you come to a big club. You either live by the sword or die by it.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we're a Liverpool or a Man City, but what I'm saying is that we are a big club with a massive fan base.
Yeah.
And now with the onset of all of this sort of stuff, the YouTubing and all that, the fan base is noticeably bigger than it has been in the past.
Which is great.
And therefore, there's a lot more praise and criticism coming at you.
Peter's saying we are looking at apparently a Japanese striker. Fucking shite. Peter's also saying about the thing what I said earlier. Brentford in for Kelleher. They're more a stable club with a good manager. Yeah, that's a fair shout as well. Yeah,
that's true.
Happy's saying Ferguson has been such a bizarre loan. Guaranteed he would have played more had he stayed at Brighton. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Though he was down the pecking order because they bought in, was it one or two more strikers anyway while he was there?
Yeah. We should have gone for that bloody Kiori Matoma, mate. That's who.
That would have been the player. Harry's saying Ferguson just spent his time in London on the piss. That's probably about right.
Drive him round in his Lamborghini Urus.
Frog saying, me mum reckon I needed help, but my pet radiator called Simon disagreed.
Pet radiator.
Apparently, Ferguson was also a bad influence as well. Going on what I said earlier about Somerville, don't bet on Somerville. Peter saying having a blinder. I think he'll be another injury-prone player. Let's hope not. I mean, I think hopefully there's more to come from him, but we'll see. But let's hope that ain't the case, Peter. David's saying Ferguson was valued at £100 million a couple of years ago. That's true. How much is he worth now? I think they said it's around about 40 or 50 million, David, I do believe.
Still too much from what we've seen.
What we've seen, I agree on that.
If Brighton were to say, right, take him off our hands for 18, that'd be a fair price. I'd still say no, though.
Abby said, see the leap Fab's made for that early save at Ipswich defies logic at 40. Yeah, defies logic. Yeah, I don't think me and you could do that, that's for sure, mate.
Yeah, mate. I bet his wife's an happy lady that he's not going to be throwing himself around like that. Mind you, though, he's talking about going to another club. And apparently he likes it in London, wants to stay in London. So therefore, what do you reckon? Fulham?
Could be. Yeah.
If it's another Premier League club, I reckon it'll be Fulham. Probably wouldn't be Palace. Don't think they would need him.
No, not at the moment, I don't think. But yeah, it could be Fulham.
But Fulham are a team that are a club that are notorious for their goalkeepers, aren't they?
Mm.
You know.
But they got what's his name? It was the old Arsenal keeper, wasn't it? What's his name? Lenz? No, not Lenz.
Lenz. No. I thought you meant Lenz.
Is it Leno? Leno?
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, Matt saying about 10 million for Ferguson. Crazy that then. Happy saying it was a proper emotional match at Ipswich. sang our hearts out, some real good old ones, and plenty for Cressy and Fabs. Yeah, it was not. I mean, and even Kufel and that, he soaks it up as well. And I think out of the three of them, it was Fabianski that seemed to be more the emotional one out of all of it. But it was a nice touch from the Ipswich fans as well.
Yeah.
When Cressy came on, because even they applauded him as well, which was nice.
And that comment there brings us nicely to just over the hour mark time.
So on that note, we shall let me get the video up and we'll play it now.
Massive. Yo, massive. 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 Yo, massive.
What a nice touch.
That video. That's my favourite one I've done so far, that is.
That was nice, mate. That was a nice touch and a fitting tribute for two players that's kind of given their utmost for this club.
For this club, yeah. They're both about to leave. 2015 Player of the Year. Well, sorry, Hammer of the Year. Cresswell. Also that season won Player of the Year. And then 2018-19, I believe it was, for Fabianski in his first season, got Player of the Year, Hammer of the Year. So, esteemed guests, if you like, you know what I mean? Like they are, and I know Fabianski didn't actually play at Upton Park, but, he's a long-serving player. Him and Cresswell have had a good relationship throughout the whole of their time together. And Cresswell is, other than Antonio, Cresswell's the last remaining player that's played at Upton Park with any regularity. Well, any game. So, it's a very sad day that he's leaving, for that reason, because he is the last remaining link in the chain, if Antonio is going to be moving on or retiring or whatever the case may be, and he doesn't play for us again, that's the last two links in the chain gone.
Yeah, agree on that.
The only other people that may still be around from that time may be one or two of the staff, and I mean one or two. There's not going to be that many of the old staff still at the ground. So
yeah, there's only a couple of faces I recognise when you see them on the TV and that, I must admit.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think that the fact that Creswell gave us 11 years of his career, you know, I think is a testament to this club for a start, because a man from Liverpool who didn't want to leave, he's quite a nice tribute to the club, or you know, to us as fans, because he always, you know, states that, you know, they're the best fans in the world. He said it himself. You know.
Yeah. Let me catch up with the chat and see what people say about what we've done here. And
Yeah.
Good evening to I'm Singing Vlogs and On. Thanks for coming in. It looks like it's the first time for you being in here. And,
It looks like Happy's going out as well. So
Yeah.
good night, Happy.
Good night, Happy, as well. And thanks for, I say, I'll keep the thing up in there and I will put it in the description after the video is done. Crosby Stone will be signing players on 50k more alike. Maybe pay a bit more. We can get someone like Chalobah. I mean, that's not a bad shout. Yeah, that's probably where we're going to go, Happy. A few championship players. Just kind of keep the wage down. Yeah, we're all good. Hope you are as well. And thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Matt saying Tony going to use inobtrusive in his interview tomorrow. Absolutely, Matt. I'll throw that in for see what they say on that one.
Yeah. Make sure you put it in the right place, though. So,
yeah, inobtrusive that you're not giving me the job, but no, I'll go that throat. And it Billy Reid, they're saying.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're looking in Belgium, but cat's out of the bag now, apparently, Trosh is saying. Frog saying, up on the like for this dodgy duo, peeps. Dodgy duo.
Engine bracket, dodgy duo.
Good evening, Luke Legend. Good evening to yourself, mate. Hope you're well.
Luke.
Good evening, ladies. And he's saying that Budjo, and they're saying like a legend, obviously, Lukester. Goalkeeper coach. Yeah, no worries. I'm getting there on the comments. Frog saying hello in there. Matt saying, I think West Ham has a drinking culture with the likes of Granny Dings and Ferguson. Dear.
It's always been the way.
Still buzzing, apparently. Maybe I'll need to get a new microphone and headphone. Luke saying, I'll take Grealish all day long and he is a good footballer. Yeah, he is. I mean, you can't deny he's not. I mean, no, you're welcome, Happy. Always. Always. I can't anything wrong with the sound. Okay, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's CZ then. No worries. Danny Dyer will be having his balls of breakfast if he's left. Yeah. Because when they asked who's your kind of at the two Dyers is your number one fan, and also he said obviously Danny Dyer Senior. So will only pick his buddies and Bone ain't one. Yeah, that's. I mean, I can't believe some of the plays. Mind you saying that we know he's got the wedding there, and he so let's hope it all goes well for him. Yep, he's so Chelsea based. Yeah, probably still paying his wage now.
Yeah, he loves Chelsea, doesn't he? Biased towards him.
Luke saying Garnacho would be great. He's a twit, but he could be our twit. Yeah, he's just got to make sure he don't kind of think too big of himself. That's the problem. David saying, don't just ask, are you okay? Ask the follow-up. Fighting mental health is no small thing. Haven't fought past it 20 years. Even so, cool, normal people like me are fighting the good fight. Much love, David. And yeah, that's a great comment.
Good comment. Comment of the night.
I mean, when you look at how many people say that, are you okay? And of course, you know,
everyone's going to just say, yeah, I'm fine.
They feel awkward about that as well. You know, when you think afterwards, it's people look at it and think, did I at least just say that? You know, unfortunately, there's some people that don't, though, are they? That is the worst part. Happy saying, Blowen has not been playing on the right wing all season, but even with that, his returns are far better than Madueke. Yeah, but as we said, Tuchel at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not good.
I actually made a statement a few weeks ago, Tony, and I said that I would be willing to bet that Bowen's stats are comparable to Saka's all day long. And I was right. In fact, we looked them up.
Yeah.
And I was right. I was maybe 1 or 2 out, but they stacked up. And I still maintain that.
I agree on that as well. Yeah, Frog saying choosing Madueke is a mystery for sure. Yeah, I mean, mind you, maybe you never know. They could have had conversations and Bowen said, unfortunately, I can't be around because I've got a honeymoon I'm going to go on shortly with a wedding.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, he's basically already come out and said, thank God I ain't got to cancel it again. You know?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
David saying a $10 from David Shear, character jumping in the air, hopefully singing yippee. Yeah. I'd rather Anthony Luke. Bowen would do well at a so-called top 6 club. Well, you know he will do. I mean, it's just the fact of if he kind of sticks with us, then, you know, don't get me wrong, we like loyalty. We do like loyalty. But you can't fault him if he was looking to move on.
No. But, you know, I mean, one of the greatest England captains never to be, I think, would have been Mark Noble. And yet he chose loyalty over international duty.
He got overlooked big time, didn't he?
Yeah. And, you know, even certain managers have sort of said, you know, that Noble would have been useful in that England setup at that time, at particular times. So, you know, but the thing is, you know, we can't look back. We have to look forward. Right now, at the moment, this England camp, it's a nothing England camp anyway, isn't it? It's friendlies.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit? Let's not get, you know, Bowen's Achilles tendon or whatever ripped out of his leg in a friendly against Scotland or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
True.
I don't mean any ill feeling towards the Scots. You know.
But no, just an example. Yeah.
But you know, I'm just saying we don't need Bowen's, you know, tendons being ripped out of his legs in a friendly. So let him go and have his honeymoon and his wedding and enjoy his life for a few weeks, and then come back fighting fit for West Ham United. You know, after all, we pay his wages. We're the club that he loves. We're the fans that he wants to please. You know, so in my opinion, I think Bowen moving out of the question.
Yeah, agree on that. I mean, obviously, Luke said, we just need decent players, and that's the key thing. If we're going to move forward, we just need players that's going to do the job. Mate, you're right. I've heard this as well. Klopp basically saying he didn't think it was right the fans having a dig at Trent, and happy to agree with Luke there. Peter says if Arsenal win nothing next season, he'll end up at Real Madrid. Yeah, you see that coming, isn't it?
Well, Rice.
Yeah.
I can see him ending up at what's it called? Bayern Munich with Harry Kane.
Oh, imagine that.
I can see it happening, mate.
Harry summed it up though. Like Rice needs to move to a big club to win things, or come home and win more of a massive team. 100%. Yeah, we had many of them. Luke says, not popular, but we do well signing the best players in the Championship. Can we not just keep going down that road? Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it comes down to, we've heard it so far, Luke, and you've probably seen it yourself. 1 minute we've got money, then we haven't got money, then we can do this, we can't do that. It's infuriating in certain respects because it's like you're just belittling the club when we know that we can be a lot better than that. And I suppose it comes down to the same old thing. The players we've got at the moment, if they're not going to stick around, we've got to get some good money from them at least to then get something that's going to come in and do a job. And more than likely, you know, that's not afraid to wear the claret and blue and do it, you know, and actually kind of feel some pride about doing it rather than I've signed and, I'll kick a ball, but I don't give a shit about anything else, really.
Yeah.
Luke totally agree on that. Steve's saying, Happy saying, if we could fill our squad with Championship players, then what sets us aside from the newly promoted and relegated sides? Well, I suppose the only thing there is we make it on an even kill. Then do we join in the relegation battle? If we do that, we've got to do something at least. Matt said, after Rice retired, winning nothing at Arsenal. God, you imagine that.
On that note about filling the squad up with, championship players, I don't think anyone's actually suggesting that we fill the squad up with them. But I think what we've got to do is we've got to be selective about where the money goes and who we spend it on. Like the £50 million Sebastian Haller signing turned out to be an £18 million return. Complete joke. £36 million for what was his name?
Schumacher?
No, the Brazilian. What's his god name?
Anderson,
Felipe Anderson. Right, 32 million we paid for him. Sorry, 35, something like that. And when we sold him, 26, 24, somewhere around there. We've got to stop doing that. That's not helping this club to move on. What that's doing is holding us back. Yeah. What we need to do is we need to be finding them gems. Yes, of course, that we can have resale value on, but we also need to be finding players that are going to solidify the team and the squad. Regardless of where they're from and what they cost, what we need is a strong squad of players to go into next season with that we can be confident in.
Agree on that.
At the moment, we're not confident in our squad, are we?
No. And that's for this season. Has been a worrying concern. Hopefully that'll change. But as Joshua, we've got to wait for the next couple of months and see what happens there. But he's also saying about that Commer van of yours that Hammerite doubled its resale value, apparently. Frog said Commer vans needed Yorkshire as a turning circle. Yeah. Did they have if I remember right, they'd have massive steering wheel, didn't they?
The old yes. It was huge. It was like, right out there somewhere. It was massive.
Looks like their best, not the crap. Look at Tony and Vardy getting there early. Yeah, we've got to strike. Well, we are talking again.
Look at Bowen. I mean, we got in there early with Bowen, really, to be fair.
No, Peter's got a bit quiet on that front, isn't it? Any latest news on the possible takeover with the American bloke? I think, everything else, I said last night on my show, so the fact that Ann Summers are struggling financially, this is the reason why they're looking to sell up their stake at West Ham, because they're basically, by the sounds of it, they're not careful they're going to go into administration. It's not looking good for them.
Oh.
This is one of the reasons why, the Golds want to sell up what they've got.
Yeah. Oh.
So, it's gone all quiet on that. I mean, I think Tripp, no doubt, he's getting his consortium together if it is Tripp that's involved. Yeah. Watch his space. I think that's all we can do at this moment. More saying so much work needed this summer. Not going to get caught up on any rumours yet until they get pen to paper in that shirt. Just going to see who we end up with it all. It hangs in the balance next season for Emma Sandwich, and that's a great statement.
Yeah, Morel, that's exactly what I'm like. That's exactly what Tony's like. And to be fair, mate, like the rumours, there are other channels and people that do them. If you want to look at them, that's the way to go. You won't find them on here, really. Like sometimes people ask us, what about the links to Joe Blogs? And we'll go, look, we've seen the link. He's a decent enough player, but, it's a bit early to say anything. That's generally where we go with that.
Yeah.
Especially at this point in time where it's now like the cusp of end of season for the window to open. We're waiting for the window to open in a few days,
That's true.
So when the window opens, when business is done, I'm sure Tony and myself and everyone else that does it will be happy to announce the signings. But, ongoing negotiations is just a little bit boring for me.
2 windows as well, this one, isn't there? You have an early window and then obviously the next one. So that's going to be quite interesting.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah, it's true, mate. Harry says, that comma van, was there a fellow with a flag that used to walk in front of you, Budgie?
Mate, near enough. I think it topped out at 53 mile an hour.
Yeah. Trosh says, yeah, the same guy that carried the starter lever.
And they used to have one of them too. They did.
Man.
Yeah.
Frog I just don't see Potter doing jack based on his record in the last 6 months. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Keep your chin up. Keep your chin up.
Changing, isn't it?
Static in your, the actual microphone noise. Brendan saying, yeah, static in your hair, Tony. Yeah, probably the beard. Neither, could be that. Luke says, and this is a great one as well. Can we please stop comparing us to other London clubs? Who cares? They're not West Ham, so they lose already. Exactly that. We are who we are.
Great shout, Lukey.
Yeah, we are who we are. Don't care about all the other teams. They can say what they want at the end of the day.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim churro. We are the bastards in claret and blue.
Absolutely.
And no other team can sing that song because none of them are like us. Even other teams in claret and blue.
David Shear saying, worst thing Potter did was go to Chelsea. Totally agree on that one as well. I reckon he's a decent coach that suited Brighton. Well, Brighton's a different kind of model, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. Maybe, though, he would have done really well at somewhere like Bournemouth. Or maybe even Brentford. If they didn't have Mr. Frank, if they didn't have him there, maybe that would have been a brilliant destination for him because they've got a model that they work to, and he works really well under a model.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's.
And I'm not talking about one of these models you see walking up and down a catwalk either. Because any one of us would do well underneath one of them.
You just said about the microphone sabotaged by Fuzzy. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, mate. That's for sure. Beastie Boys. God, I know that. Tog's number one spot is all yours at the moment, apparently on the old comments. Ledge, love it. I'm a catch, Brendan saying. Yeah, saw what you did there. That's wacky. Steve saying, happy open to be on Tuesday one. Been a while. Oh, look. So it sounds like it's a good thing to go on to. So I'll have a look out for one of them.
Yeah.
Luke saying, David Shear, Brighton had an owner who isn't mental. There you go. There you go. Look, she's saying, stop your whinging. Frog saying, HB in an odd way, there's an element of humour within what has been going on. The fulfilled expectation of the club's cluelessness revealing itself over and over. Yeah, which is something we've seen quite a lot this season.
Yeah.
My God, I'm not too sure about that. If it does,
it probably gets you expired or expelled.
Oh man!
But we're not in the habit of performing such.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go off camera for the moment. It won't be long. Happy saying, Mr. Bell. Yes, you have not been around of late. Been great to see you again. Lovely, absolutely. That's obviously going on to the chat. Harry said, I've been usurped by a pretender to be to the throne, apparently.
Usurped. That is, yeah.
Yes, get a room. I'm a great pretender. I mean, well, we haven't really exactly talked about much about the game, mate. So I'm going to go through the chat. If you want to get people saying that. David saying, love this channel. No raging, guys. It's an absolute testament to you all on here. From an Aussie Spurs fan since 1981, when talent didn't cost the earth. And David, I mean, that's a fair, that's what we always try to aim at, and not being funny. Even though me and Budge have only known each other for a short period of time, the good thing about it is I've seen Budgie before, and God rest his soul, old Peach. And when you look at that kind of thing, it was good that. From that, I actually managed to communicate with Budgie in that, and who knew in a year or 2 years afterwards, kind of thing, that me and him appearing on the same show together, and it's a nice, calm way, and as you can see, David, we've got some great people in the community, and there's no kind of basically to and fro and arguing with each other.
And to be fair, also, David, that the community isn't exclusively West Ham either. And you know, even when we're doing the West Ham review, you know, like Anthony's an Arsenal fan. You know, there's a few other people that are, you know, fans of other clubs, and they regularly visit the chat while we're live. You know, and you know, there's a bit of banter, but the community is still solid. You know, we all stick together.
Exactly that, and that's the key thing about it. You know, that's what I like about it.
Lone Star, Arsenal fan.
Yeah, look, he's saying any membership prizes for being second. As an Arsenal fan, had to ask. Luke's saying as long as I got to click, oh bloody hell, dear. Pick a mix, Lone Star, bloody hell. Wenger mug, Lone Star. See, look, love the comments to each other.
Yeah,
you did indeed, Lone Star. You walked straight into them, mate. That's for sure. Anthony the King Dodger. I think Ferguson. I mean, it didn't seem right, Matt. That's for sure, isn't it? Happy's going. Somerville is going to be exciting next season. We'll feel like a new signing. We have evidence Potter will use him. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Luke saying being an Arsenal must be dreadful. We just appreciate winning once in a while. They're not used to it, Luke. That's for sure. When it goes Pete Tong from and that, they're definitely not used to it.
Yeah. And we've been trying to help them out with the London derbies, but you know they just keep falling down. You know, they keep falling down.
Very true. Matt saying, "I know fucking shites, brother, fucking rubbish." David's also saying he's had a soft spot for you Hammers, not understanding their rivalry. Understanding the rivalry. Aussie rules of huge rivalries dating back decades. Well, there is Millwall. That's for sure. It's spelt dickhead, David is saying there. Frog says, Budgie, dog sitting and mates mailing ice over the next couple of weeks. Wish me luck.
All right. Well, Frog, I promise you that if you put the effort into that dog, you will get the rewards, mate, because they are intelligent. They're great, athletic dogs. You'll have fun. You know, like chucking a ball and having him bring it back to you and all that. Mate, I swear to God, they are great. They'll jump over fences and all sorts for you. Brilliant dogs.
Thank you very much, people. And I know I'm catching up on the chat yet. So it's Leno. I thought it was that. Pine for 45, sell it for 12 months later. Yes, he's also loving them as well. Make West Ham great again, saying 52-year-old Titi Kamal will be better than Ferguson. Oh, dear me. They're talking about the dog in this stem.
35-year-old Andy Carroll would be better.
Harry's saying Vlad's interview brought the tea. Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it? It was a nice touch. You know what I mean? It was a nice touch. Lovely thing, but lost an eye in a fight. Oh, that's a shame. Trodger's saying Benny McCarthy would have got a fit faster than Tadibo. Yeah, he wasn't good on Sunday, that's for sure. I don't know what's going on there. Matt's saying we're fucking massive, and Cressy and Fabs are massive. Colin's saying Tony and Budgie, sorry, I have to leave. Got some duty to do. Been nice joining you both. Great show as always. Take care. God bless you both. See you both next time. Colin, as always, mate, appreciate that. And remember, I know what you do is hard work. So take it easy while you get the chance. And they're all saying good night to him as well. Let me kind of crap for it. Matt says Cressy didn't use his left foot often enough. Good night. That's good. Thanks, darling. Fly through some of this chat so we're catching up with it. Hopefully, Antonio. Same guy. Here we go. This is where this chat jumps.
Oh, yeah?
I have no idea why it does it sometimes, mate.
Yeah, it's a glitch in the system, isn't it?
Glitch in the matrix.
Yeah. Stell's always complaining about it.
Good night to you all, wonderful ladies and gentlemen in the chat. Always a pleasure joining you and wonderful family. God bless. See you all next time. Thank you, mate. Harry says, Tone, my cavity searches are unobtrusive. Mama saying my inbox is always open for anyone who needs a shoulder to lean on or just someone to listen to. Mama, you know, as always, you go above and beyond, and you can't show more than enough respect for this woman. That's for sure.
Yeah, damn fine lady.
Good evening, Gary. Hope you're doing well. All the bollocks starts Kevin De Bruyne being the yeah, Kevin De Bruyne has joined us as well now. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, let's have them all.
Yeah, let's have them.
Duck Frog saying David Shear spot on. A lot of people spend their lives adjusting their own defensive mechanism. That's true. Good evening to you, Pepsi. Good evening. 1 pint glass against the wall wasn't enough, so I threw 2. Apparently, Arsenal now go for Sesko over Gyökeres as Arteta is planning for future. This is now sabotage. Yeah, but don't forget, Pepsi. He's very excited for the summer, for the who you're going to be getting. He's very excited, apparently. Pepsi there. Got the crown back. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, JB. Good to see you as well. Tranquilo. What would Shirley think? Jesus. Yeah. JB saying happy Bowen is having a rest. Big season to come. Yeah, that's very true on that one. In fairness, Bowen is just as likely to get injured in Vegas. Yeah. Oh, please, that's not going to be the case. And as always, everyone saying hello to each other. Gary saying no, right for Bowen, he will be gone. Everyone has their price, and this is true, unless of course you stick your wheels in and he stays. But we can only speculate from our end. We don't know if that could be the case. But if he sticks to his word, then we'll have him even more for it. Moore saying our best players in recent years have come from the Championship: Antonio, Bowen, Cresswell, Fabianski, Benrahma.
Yeah.
Great shout though, Frog. Yep. West Ham word for summer. Hopefully, this is very true. Good evening to Lord Bong as well. Good evening, chaps. Good evening to you as well, mate.
Hope you James.
Lord Bong, they're saying hello to each other as always, which is great. Thank you, Mama, for that. Make sure to hit the like button, people, if you haven't already. By golly, if it isn't Lord Monkhouse Clink. Oh, we can actually do that, I think, isn't it? Oh, no, they're not going to do that one. Good evening, Claret and Booze. Thank you very much for coming in.
Good evening, Nick.
I hope you're well, Nick. And I feel quite privileged getting Nick on the show for, it's my first ever time for having Claret and Booze on there. Thank you, Nick. Hope you're keeping well, mate. And keep up the good work, as they say. It's good to see you. Hi, Frogman. Nice. Here he is. Early Des Lyon on Football TV. Results are in. West Ham are shite. What an appalling season. Yes. Oh, dear.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Frog saying Arsenal suffer from pensioner syndrome. They struggle to get past the semi. Well, they took on Sterling, didn't they? That's for sure. Mama's, she's one big Toon fan, that's for sure. Everyone likes the Toon and Great City. Frog, that's an understatement, mate. It's a brilliant place. It's also saying no Spurs fans, surely. Ooh, good shirt here from Usual. PSG or Inter on Saturday.
Oh.
I think Inter.
I've got to be honest, I want to see PSG take it.
I think Inter do it though.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends. I mean, looking at how they played last time, and both weren't exactly great, but they've managed to get into this final. So there should be.
Man United, Tottenham, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Summed up in a nutshell. They're awesome dogs. Yeah, talk about the thing itself. Thank you, Inter.
Man,
yeah,
what a great dog.
Inter. Beautiful beast. They're talking about the dog again.
Yeah.
Harry's saying PSG Inter draw full time. Inter lift the trophy. I think that's what I think Inter would just about nick it. Pepsi, I'll be excited when he bucks off. And the odds in from usual is PSG 6-5 in a 21-10. The draw 11-5. And
Wow.
there you go. Stephen saying hello to Nick as well. And PSG in a win on penalties, both 10-1. Yeah, I think you're right there, mate. I'm saying Inter as well. Trip says, "Big up everyone." Trip, good evening to yourself, mate. Hope you're well.
Good evening, Trip. How are you, bud?
And Nick saying, "Good to see you, gents." No, pleasure as always. Thanks for coming in. Really do appreciate that. And hello there, also James as well. Frog says, "Yeah, usual. Guinea, that penalty prize isn't bad compared to full-time odds, is it?" I don't think we'll get to that stage. I'm not too sure.
I don't know, mate. I'm surprised that Tottenham Man United didn't go to penalties. I'm going to be completely honest. It weren't a great game.
No, it's bloody awful, wasn't it? I mean, absolutely awful.
But then our final wasn't a great game, Tone. It was a great memory and it's a great result, and you know it's been great to sing about it since. But the actual game, if we're honest with ourselves, it was a bit dull, dross, really.
Yeah, but at least there's some goals in it, mate. Not like how their one was. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Actually, there was a disallowed goal. There was a couple of woodwork strikes. So, you know, I suppose it was a bit better than the Tottenham United game. But even so, you know, it weren't like the 2006 FA Cup final, was it?
No, that's true. That is true. Excuse me. Gary's saying here, who wants Potter to have a rebuild? Because if he's sacked by Christmas, we'll be the third rebuild in 2 years. Bloody ludicrous.
Absolutely true, Gary. You know, obviously there's a core of players that we've been able to keep up till now. That core is going to change. It's going to change drastically. We're not going to be able to keep Cal. We're not going to be able to keep Kudus. We're not keeping Emerson. You know, Fabianski's gone. Creswell's gone. Sofal's gone. Okay, we've got replacements for those, but let's be fair. Actually, the only replacement we've got for Creswell at the moment is Oliver Scholes. To be fair, because Emerson's going as well, and
yeah,
that makes life very difficult on the left-hand side, where we've been notoriously weak for about 5 years.
I suppose it's no. Let's not get carried away with it at the moment, because we're just drive ourselves silly just thinking about these players that could be coming in.
I know. I'm thinking more about the players that are going out, because there's gaps being left everywhere on the pitch that, although, you know, maybe Creswell ain't a first choice player, but sometimes he's been the only choice. Yeah.
He was. Yeah, I mean, they've done it now. He's gone. I mean, he wanted to go the year before, and we sold him. And to be fair, you know,
same with Sofal. Maybe he's not a first choice player, but you know, he was, and he's still capable of doing his job. You know, that's a commendable thing, but that's a gap in the squad. Who have we got to replace that? So that's somebody else we've got to replace. You know, even Danny Ings we've got to replace.
Yeah. Well, we know we need a striker, that's for sure.
Antonio we've got to replace.
Yeah, because we've not heard anything on that one, have we? What's going to actually happen with that player?
And to be fair, I don't think we've ever replaced Dean Ashton.
No. Yeah, what could have been with that one?
I don't think we've been very successful up front at all.
Well, for me, I still say to this day, I think Scamacca and Haller was never played correctly. We wasted on both of those players.
Much better players than their paperwork at West Ham would suggest.
Yeah, totally agree on that. we've got to see, mate, and what goes on from this point onwards. Extra time, as you're saying, into an extra time, 14-1, PSG 10-1. Looks like it's in its favour. Frog saying our final against Anderlecht in 75 was better and we lost that as well. Yeah. Milano into the net, in it. 76 Frog. Oh, there you go. Just correcting him on that one. Matt saying, I remember the final so clearly, was down the local leisure centre in their bar with a mate, and the place went crazy when Bowen scored. I mean, I think the neighbours thought I was killing the missus, like the noises we made.
Well, I was over at my local, yeah, and I was one of probably half a dozen West Ham fans in there that night. And everyone else in there was either Liverpool, United, Tottenham, Chelsea, a couple of City fans in there. It's quite diverse in the pub. It's quite good. We have a lot of banter and we have fun, but most of the time we all get on. And then when Ben Rama scored that goal, I ran round the other side of the bar where all the Liverpool fans were. And I went, "Get in, Ben Rama," like that, and they were all clapping and going, "Yeah, nice." But early days. Then they equalised. And there's this one lad, Greg, he's actually from Liverpool. He's actually a Scouser. And he walked round the bar to where I was and he went, "Shh," like that at me, right? So I went, "What can I say, mate? What can I say?" So anyway, and then when Paqueta put Bowen through and that ball went in, my shirt was off. I was running around the bar, right round the bar, right through where the toilets are and back out the other side. Right, I did about 4 laps at the pub. It was great. And then someone said, "Oh no, VAR." And I stopped in my tracks and went, "Shut up." And he was like, No, really. But they've got VAR in this game, haven't they? And I was like, "Well, yeah, but don't tell me that goal, like, it's gone to VAR." He went, "Well, they had a look at it, but they've said it's a goal."
Trying to wind the shit up out of you. Bloody hell. Matt saying that if Emerson goes, we're screwed. We need 2 players to cover for Skulls. Yeah, so no, I think we need a lot of replacement.
That's exactly what my point was. Emerson's going, Cresswell's going, gone. So the thing is, we are without a first team left back. All we have is a blooded youth player, which is better than nothing at all. But yeah,
it's good to be. He's given the chance.
We've got no games coming up, and we've got time to find them. But I ain't got the confidence in them finding 2 players to cover that position.
Well, I think the key thing is, as long as we don't do the same hurrah like we did, the last summer, getting these 10 players in, and we know full well that basically it didn't work out. We don't want to be going down that same route again. We've got to make sure that if we're going to get players in, it's going to be the right players doing the right thing at the right time. We're getting into Hammers Fuzz. He called the state of that panel is a Caro missing 2 impatience presently. Smash the likes, even if it's out of sympathy. Thank you. You're most welcome, Hammers Fuzz. Dear me. Nick saying he could do a bit of a job in replacings. Sign him up now.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing Nick kicking the ball around.
Mate, I reckon Nick can kick a ball.
Yeah, he don't want to give too much away, does he? James is saying, I'm glass half full and looking forward to a good start to the season. The boss deserves a proper transfer window, so may it be fruitful. That's all we can hope for. That's
a good outlook, James. That's a good outlook, mate. Not what I shout, but
Look, Frog saying we're a first team without a first team at the moment, Budge. That's probably about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Gary saying Emerson is at the least of our worries. We're losing their best players, Paqueta, Kudos, etc. And we finished 15th with them.
Yeah, there is a lot of truth in that. But, you know, I have to say, Gary, in the first couple of years that he was with us, I think Emerson was in with a shout for, you know, Hammer of the Year every season, wasn't he? You know, he was bloody good.
He
got
the
the nod in the final, you know, over Creswell, who had already played a few games. So, you know, I'm really grateful for the job that Emerson's done for us. I think he's been brilliant, and when he hooked up with with Paqueta, it was a sight to see. You know, it was almost sort of Morley and Cotty again, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like seeing them two interacting, or Cotty and McAvenny or whatever. It was like a match made in heaven when them two were on song together. You know, and we're going to miss that. We're going to miss that completely because it's gone. You know, well, that half of it has, and the other half is looking like it's going to. You know,
it's the new chapter, mate. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what's going to become on the new chapter itself. And as we're coming up to the 2 hour mark near enough, we're just going to catch up with Trip there. He's going to go and watch the news. We'll watch the rest on playback. Trip, appreciate you for doing that as always. And it looks like Luke Litton has actually been beat. Luke Humphries has wins the Premier League in the darts.
Oh,
Be lucky, Vic Frog saying, yeah, indeed. Yeah, we didn't replace Rice. Big mistake there. I mean, the main thing when you look at it, yeah, we've just got to make sure that we learnt from that. Because as I said, the 10 players that we brought in, even though Sola was a loan,
yeah,
it just didn't work out.
And that is probably, you know, that is actually a really good statement, because the season before we lost Noble as a player, and then at the end of the following season we lose Rice, and we didn't replace him. You know, we tried with some players, but none of them have replaced him. You know, even his partner in the England setup, when he first got into the England setup, Calvin Phillips, didn't work out. In fact, that was actually a disaster, wasn't it?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
You know?
Nick saying we'll be signing off for Osterans based on some of the names we're currently linked to. Going to be a lot of blonde hair on that pitch. He's also said, though, Budge, he can't run, though. Neither is Teddy Sheringham, Nick, but you look at how he turned out. You know, you never know, mate.
Yeah.
I
don't think Alan Shearer could ever run, could he?
No. He might have one burst per 90 in him. That'd be entertainment value on itself, just the run.
Yeah, that would be great.
Run halfway down the pitch, and then afterwards, that'd be brilliant.
Running across the sideline for his vape.
Frog says Clayton Blue doesn't hold back. JWP back. Yeah, that's the one. Stephen's saying, don't worry about that, Nick. You still be quicker than our midfield. Anthony's saying, right, who's unsub Budgie going to kick the shit out of you? Yeah, Nick's saying, I'll back myself to beat JWP in a foot race over the 50 yards.
That's all you need, mate. That's all you need.
Good evening, Terence. Good to see you.
Good evening, Terence.
Just got back at a Ruby. Nice, mate.
Nice.
What did you go for, though, Terence? That's the question. What did you go for on the Ruby?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, do you like a Ruby yourself, Budge?
I do, yeah. I've got 2 go-tos and about 5 that I like a lot as well. But my go-tos are Lamb Sarg. I absolutely love that. It's my favourite dish of all, and I like butter chicken as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, he goes for the fowl,
Oh God, mate.
but then
Oh.
he says, but then he also then says to the chefs, "Can you whack a couple of more chilies in it?"
What?
Yeah.
I bet he can open bottles of Heineken with his ring piece, can't he? Jesus.
Pop champagne corks. Yeah, because he goes out to Goa quite often, and even he surprises them out there, and he said, like, yeah, whack a couple more chilies in it. No, a couple more. And
My granddad was like that, to be fair. My granddad was just like that. And he used to go into a restaurant over here, go, give me your hottest chili that you do. And they give it, and he'd go, no, give me a tin of curry powder, hottest one you got. And then he'd stick about 4 tablespoons of it on his plate, mix it all in, taste it. Yeah, that'll do. No, actually, hang on, give it here. And he put another 2 in there.
fuck that.
Honestly, my granddad. Jesus.
God, sod that. Nah, not
He
at all.
used to say that his tongue must have been made of leather because of the stuff he could eat.
Don't know, people
Give him
do
a
it.
boiling hot cup of tea, it was gone in about 30 seconds. Down the neck.
Jesus.
Old Navy man, though, wasn't he? You know,
Oh, there you go. So yeah, that says it all. That one.
had all the sense, or all the senses, I should say, ripped out of his throat with all the rum he was knocking back, probably.
Yeah, stripped all the senses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frog saying that Nick snails make day trips to London Stadium for tips from JWP. You know. Nick saying, don't think you can replace Rice, to be honest. Though, yeah, this is true. Yeah, I mean, we look, fair play to him moving on, but yeah, we're paying the price still to this day, I think.
Yeah. £105 million gained and wasted.
Yeah. I was saying JWP, Souček, and Roddy could be our midfield next season.
Oh, goodness. I'd rather have Soler in it, to be fair, if I'm honest.
Usually saying Chinese or Indian. Oh, depends, mate. It all depends. Listen, I didn't mind going to the old buffet places. You can get some decent old bit of food there.
Yeah.
There's some.
Buffet, you mean?
Yeah, you've got them. There's a few places like that. I mean, funny, in the cul-de-sac where I'm in, that the Indian family across the road there, they own 5 restaurants.
Oh.
The main one they've got is in Harlow. This is the Garden of India. That's their kind of top notch.
Yeah.
That's got some decent food in there.
Mm. I used to have an Indian lady live next door, but she moved out the family moved out about a year ago, and then another family bought the house. But the woman that used to live there, one day I was out the back cleaning my car, and she came out and said hello, and I said hello, and I said, whatever it is you're cooking smells absolutely wonderful. She said, oh, really? I said, yeah. I said, it smells great. She said, oh, thank you. Anyway, about 4 hours later, she's knocking on my door with a big plate of food for me. And she said, I know you have children, so there's plenty there. And honestly, I could have fed like a family of 4.
Nice.
And it was beautiful. And there were poppadoms and naan bread and everything, all freshly made. And, it was just lovely, really, really nice. And for months and months and months afterwards, every now and again, she'd drop me a curry round. And then all of a sudden it stops, and I found out that they sold the house.
That's probably the husband said, stop giving the fruit to that bloke next door. We've got to move. Loads are saying, oh no, it's the Herbert. Moral's saying he also loves hot curries. Vindaloo and Madras are my favourites. Yeah, I say foul though. I mean, Jesus, what he does with that. Unlikely Gary there. Terence is saying, yeah, so he had a black pea dal, Bombay aloo gobi, mixed veg curry, beef curry, and lemon rice. Nice. Anthony's saying, my son just said, is that a West Ham channel? Because I'm doing bottles with a rim piece. He's got. Big up, he said. And there's say low there. Oh, look at that. Harry saying the hotter the better. Mr. Nugger, chili pickle all day long. I don't know about you, Budge, but if I have anything too hot and spicy in that, I sweat through my head big time.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, trouble is with me, I've got a stomach ulcer, so the
Yeah, not
hotter it
good.
gets, the worse I suffer.
Oh, yeah.
And like a lot of people that have got stomach ulcers will understand when I say that it's about the size of a tangerine.
Oh, man.
And that is quite a large ulcer, and it don't get no worse, but I have to control it. You know,
Yeah.
2 pints of milk a day I drink.
I was
and
going
all
to
that.
say, must be milk in there involved to help you do that.
Yeah, definitely. I have to drink a couple of pints a day just to make sure that I'm on a level. You know.
Good for your calcium levels as well, because obviously the chemo, I'm assuming that's the other thing as well.
Yeah. Oh,
When you had it. Yeah.
Camera's just gone off. Well, my screen just went off.
Frog saying that he has things in the land of illusion. And going back to what we were saying there, King James Bong saying King Trevor Brooklyn was slow. But
Yeah, he was.
He was slow, but obviously
And Bobby Moore. Bobby Moore was never one of the fastest players across the pitch, but you know, every defensive midfielder in the world would love to have been as good as he was at getting the ball.
True. Nick said, just discovered a Naga CTM. It's a masala with a serious kick. Arse like a fresh bullet wound the following day. Oh, man.
Oh, mate.
Gary saying, what budget do we have for rebuild, or are we skint? Who do you believe? Certainly not the dwarf bollocks.
Like Gary, it's my belief, and I don't know whether anyone else would agree. I think we've got a minimum budget of somewhere around 40 million quid, right? But knowing that we are selling players, that is going to generate more funds for the transfer kitty. So let's just say we can raise £160 million in sales. If we can sell Paqueta and Kudus and, you know, one or two other players that look like they're going to go, then, yeah, maybe we might get 100, 130, 150 million maybe, right? Including the 40 million that we had at the start. But at this moment in time, I reckon it's somewhere between 40 and 50 mil at this moment.
Mm. Well, maybe we've got a bit of money there because we've got the old sponsorship tie-up with Brewdog as well now, haven't they? So you can get their beers next season.
Another American company.
Yeah, so maybe that's the start of the, you never know.
Well, there are links.
Lone Star says he loves a bit of chicken masala. It's not a bad one, chicken masala. James Bong saying lamb bruna or madras is my go-to. Very nice. Nick saying used to be a Chinese, but the missus hates it, so hardly ever have a Chinese now. Yeah, I suppose the problem with the Chinese food and that obviously they bung so much bloody MSG and whatnot and salt.
MSG. LSD.
Not LSD.
LSD. Fucking hell. They bung so much of that in it, you never know whether you've eaten or not. But, no, you see, the thing is, if I was given a choice, someone said to me, right, we're going out for a meal. In my head, I want to pick a Mexican, but I've never been to a Mexican restaurant because I don't know where there are any, right? So realistically, I would go for an Italian because I like Italian food. I do like tomato-based, you know, food, and that's, you know, heavily tomato-based in Italy. And I just know I would enjoy it more. A curry or a Chinese, that's when you're drinking with your pals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if I've got a choice and I'm taking someone for a meal, or, You know what I mean? Or you've turned up down here, we're going to go out and have a bite to eat. I'd rather go and have an Italian than I would a Chinese or a curry, unless you specifically wanted one of them. You know what I mean? That's the way I am. That's the way I am. I love Italian food.
Decent enough for me, mate. That'll do. Frog saying Lane Buddha for him as well. Oh, Nick, you're not wrong there, mate. Yeah, can't beat a bit of crispy duck, especially if it's done right. Agree on that one.
Yeah, I agree. With the pancakes and all that, gotta love it, and hoisin sauce.
There used to be a Chinese down in Brentford, Brentwood, and they used to do this Mongolian chow mein.
Yeah.
God, handsome. Stop doing the bloody thing. Used to go in there on a regular basis, and that when I used to be a driving instructor, used to pop in there, and that'd be my last thing to take home with me. And that when they were one night, and that we stopped doing it. That was it. Fucked them off. Didn't go back after that.
Didn't go back there now.
Nah.
No, actually, I made a mistake when I said my curry of choice would be, like either butter chicken or lamb sarg. That is if I'm going to an Indian restaurant. But if I'm told pick a curry that you would enjoy the most, got to be West Indian go curry.
Oh yeah, that's nice as well. Yeah, Mama, thank you for being with us. She's saying good night. Oh, another great stream, Tunt and Budgie. Thank you, Mama.
Thanks, Mama. Always a pleasure to see you, sweetheart.
She's done the decent thing as always. She's put your channel up on the thing.
Bless you, Mama. Appreciate it, darling. Great modding.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick saying to Gary, in terms of budget, nobody knows, but it's likely the opposite of what Sullivan says. Yeah. Trying to play us each other as always, that man.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, my kind of take on that with the 40 to 50 million pound starting thing, I think it's probably realistic. I mean, we've got some money. We've got some money.
Yeah, there she said, if you're not subbed to Budgie, go and sub to him as well. Very kind.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Usual saying, yeah, to Nick. See, crispy, Chinese crispy duck, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you used to have the old lemon chicken and that, but sometimes it's so bloody sickly sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, even a Chinese beef curry is quite nice from time to time. Yeah. But I think my Chinese of choice has to be, I think, I really like the lemon and ginger chicken. It's Szechuan style, is it? Or Cantonese style or something? I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't come with the sauce on it. You get the sauce in a pot separate, and you can pour as much or as little as you want on it. But it's cooked in the lemon and ginger and garlic and all that.
Quite
really nice. I like that with like a nice clean, what's it called? Chow mein, is it? The noodles, yeah. I don't want anything in the noodles. I like it clean.
That's the other. What do they call it? Is it like the glass noodles or something they called it?
Oh yeah, rice noodles.
Rice noodles, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. If you can get them, then yeah, I'll have them. But but that's really my Chinese food of choice. Really, that with like other stuff as well, like barbecue spare ribs and maybe like I don't know, a pancake roll or something. Rice.
Nice, getting hungry now. Andy's saying, Les, don't forget the £4 from us for Declan as well. He's saying, is Brewdog Scottish? I'm not too sure. I suppose it is. Brewdog.
It's not. It's an American company.
Matt's saying, I love anything with prawns in it. Also going to say good night to Mama as well. James also is going as well. James Lamprey. Great stream, gentlemen. Catch you next time. Thank you very much, James, as well. And
James,
enjoy the rest of your day. In Oz. Hope it all goes well for you. Have a nice day out there. Gary Sands, what's happened to the old fish and chips, or is that just Friday? No, I mean, I don't mind having them any day, but it's not exactly cheap anymore, is it, the old fish and chips? That's
sure. It's not. It's not. And around here, it's very rare to find a traditional fish and chip shop, because now most of them are attached to a Indian takeaway or a Chinese takeaway. There are a few dedicated fish and chip shops around, but again, there aren't any what I would call traditional English-owned fish and chip shops anymore.
That's
Now,
true.
I've got no problem with other people like from other countries owning businesses. It's not a problem, and they do serve up good fish and chips. But long gone are the days where you walk in, you hear, "Hello, love. Do you want your usual?" Don't get that anymore.
Nah. Do you remember Urcans in the corner of Priory Road on the Barking Road?
I've
The old fish
probably
and chip shop.
stumbled in there a few times, Tone. Yeah.
Stumbled in there a few times. I mean, God, I don't know if it's still there because I mean they made an absolute. I mean, I grew up with one of the daughters of the family, but that was around all the time. They made them absolutely mint there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was that the one where I think it was?
You had Nathan's. You know where the pie mash was.
Yeah.
Where the
Nathan's.
buses turned down.
Yeah.
Where the bus station was, there was on the corner there.
Right. Yes, it is the one I'm thinking of then, because a few Chelsea fans tried getting in there, and a bit of a tussle started one evening, one afternoon, and the guy that owned the shop, I can't remember his name, Barry was it, or Brian, something like that, wasn't it?
No, because this is you're going back a while back. I'm talking about.
I am, yeah. I'm going back to sort of like 78, 79.
Yeah. No, this is what was her surname? I think were they Turks? No, Cypriot. One of the two.
All right. Now this guy's name was Brian or Barry or Billy or something like that, and he come running round from behind the fucking counter and started whacking people up. Didn't get, as long as it weren't one of his regulars, he didn't give a shit. West Ham or Chelsea, he was just whacking people up and throwing them out of the shop. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I'm standing there eating my chips in absolute amazement, going, "This geezer's mental."
Low Stars say to you, Mexican restaurants everywhere in Texas. You love it, Budge.
Well, my girl, she's in California, and there's a lot of Mexican food in California. And, she said when she gets here, she's going to cook me lots of Mexican food because, she's been taught how to cook by Mexicans, some of her friends and that. So I will be eating Mexican food. And, I've had your usual chili con carnes and your tacos and that sort of thing. But, like, out of a packet, it ain't the same, is it?
Yeah, that's true. Terence says, yep, love a Ruby, but the best food is when my neighbour's Uber food comes to my house by mistake. They knock on my door complaining. Tony, I can look them in the face, denied it was while eating pizza.
No, I haven't seen no delivery man.
We had that with Domino's. They delivered to our place, and all of a sudden it was literally should have been 10 miles down the road because there was there was one word difference in the name of the turning. And all of a sudden I had to phone them up and said, received this order, it's not ours. And all of a sudden they said, you can keep it. I thought, so that'd be all right. Opened it up, it was one of them fucking half and half. So half of it was vegetarian and the other one was like
meat and that.
Oh, yeah. I was going to phone them up and saying, complain. I need to.
Where's me bottle of Coke, you bastard?
Give me a decent pizza, not that shit you just left us. Fucking hell.
Actually, around here, if you order something and they send the wrong thing, like for example, I ordered a kebab once. I ordered chips and onion rings, and instead of getting onion rings, I got 2 portions of chips. And I phoned them up and I said, listen, someone else is going to get onion rings and I've got their chips. So he went, all right, mate, I'll sort it out, no problem. Within 15 minutes, there was a driver knocking on my door. I went to hand him the portion of chips. He was like, no, that's all right, mate, keep them. And then I got this bag of onion rings and you get 14 in the portion from them. Yeah. There was 22 of them in the bag.
Even better.
But You know, I mean, I do spend probably a best part of £100 a month with them.
So they shouldn't
You know?
go after you then, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I use both of their shops. They got 3 in total, but
Oh, blimey.
I use their 2 main ones. And I always say to them, hello, it's Clive. And they go, oh, we're a bit busy, mate. Try the town or try the Broadfield one or whatever, you know. They're good like that.
That's decent. Yeah, that's decent. Yeah, you're not wrong here, Frog. Yeah, fish and chips are fucking expensive these days. Yeah, they are indeed. Bit of cod can be anywhere between, you know, £10 to £12 or even more.
Mate, I bought a piece of
Me.
fish. They said extra large for the same price as large. Right? So I thought, oh, I'll have an extra large one then. Yeah, £17.20.
Oh, dear me. I mean, look, Nick said there, look, yeah, fish and chips cost me about £20 per person minimum round here now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was $17.25 or something like that for the fish, like $3.95 for the chips. And then when they said, do you want like sauce sachet? I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a couple of tartar sauce ones. Oh yeah, they were £1 each. Fucking £1 each.
Well, that's the thing now, isn't it? It's nearly £3 for Savoy or, you know, sausage and batter.
Yeah.
What they buy it for, isn't it? Yeah, look, they're saying there about the price of fish. And
even like a McDonald's basic meal now is like £8, isn't it? $7.50.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even that's taking the mickey as well. Matt saying butter chicken is good. Yep. Nick saying Oaxaca in Stratford Budge, if it's still there, decent mainstream Mexican. There you go.
Okay. Nice one, Nick. Thank you, mate. Next time I'm up, I might give it a good look.
And if you ever go to Sawbridgeworth, there's a Mexican there as well.
Right. Okay.
More saying curry goat is lovely. Me being half Jamaican, I've had it a few times. It is. If it's done nicely, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, my sister, she's been cooking it for probably the best part of 40 years or more. She was married to a Jamaican guy for 20 odd years. And, you know, like she cooks curry goat and jerk chicken and all of those things. But it's just her curry goat, mate. Oh, my God. It's to die for. It is really to die for. And whenever she cooks it, she always calls me and says, Clive, come for dinner.
Nice.
I'm like, yes. Nice. Yes, I'm coming because I know.
Nick says, used to have a curry goat loads. My mate's house growing up. Yes, I mean, my mate's nan, what she used to do. It was the old spiced chicken and rice. God, that was lovely.
Yeah. Sometimes they use mutton as well instead.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And that has to be cooked the same way as goat. You know what I mean? It has to be cooked for a long time.
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours, you know, my sister cooks it for.
Otherwise, you might as well get a bit of leather in your mouth for be easier chewing on that.
Yeah, you know that. You know
Atlee saying, I used to like fish, but my ex put me off. God, the fucking smell. Tell her to wash it then, it'd been easier.
Shows where the bathroom is, mate.
Lone Star says, traditional chippy, King Neptune, Mill Hill, blinding.
Brilliant. I remember one that used to be in like the back route out to East London. You go up through Croydon and you go out through the back way. This is before the M25 was ever built. And there used to be a place just north of Croydon, up sort of towards Crystal Palace sort of way. And it was this fish and chip shop was called Ozzy's. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And the guy was such a good guy. You know, I mean, like my mum and dad and my auntie and uncle, because neither of my parents drove. So my uncle would always drive. And my auntie and uncle, me, my cousin Sean, my mum and my dad would all go into this shop. And and the funny thing was, he used to have a Reliant three-wheeler. And all 6 of us would pile into that. It was hilarious. Right? And we'd go into the chip shop and he would charge like my auntie and uncle and my mum and dad for their food. But me and my cousin always got ours free. Always in there. And he always used to say, you know, no, 4 adults come in and you got a couple of kids with you, I always give it to them free. And I was like, wow. So I thought I'd try that one time with my kids. But I went in with 4 kids and 2 adults. It didn't work. It didn't work. And I mean, that was about, what, 18, 20 years ago. And they were still going then. I don't know if they're still there now. But it was the same family that owned it and everything.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And they were Turks, I believe.
Yeah, because normally the generational thing, isn't it? What was the name? There's a name for it. You know, they'd always used to scrape them off it, like the bits of batter that are floating around, and the.
Oh, we used to call them scraps.
You don't see many of them do that anymore now.
No, they're not allowed to now, are they?
Aren't they?
No, health and safety has stopped all that.
What? Get out.
Yeah. No, they've stopped it all. That's cross-contaminated food.
God damn me. Yeah, hold on.
That's ridiculous. Used to get little bits of chips in it and all sorts.
That's it, yeah.
We used to go, when we were at school, we used to go to the baker's, buy 4 bread rolls, 2 each, and we'd hollow out the bread rolls, give the middle bits to the birds on the fucking parade, and then fill it up with all that from the chip shop, because my brother's best mate's mum worked in there and she loved us all. So she used to give us all the scraps free. You know, most shops did. But we used to just go in there and get the scraps, but she'd always give us a little bag of chips as well.
Nice.
So we'd like, oh yeah, it was great. But there was always little bits of chip in with the scraps anyway, you know what I mean?
You just remind me of another chippy on the Barking Road up by East Ham. Panorama it was, and there was 2 bakers. So when we, secondary lunchtime, you go there and you had rolls. People would buy like half a loaf of bread, same thing, all out. The dough ended up all along the fucking road, the pavements. It was white. The pavement was white. My mate, he put the chips in there, and he literally emptied half a bottle of vinegar in these fucking things.
Oh
Jesus
God.
Christ, man, it's awful. Nick saying,
This is a great comment.
Yeah, I was going to say it now. Nick saying, personally, I think he'll be keeping some budget back for January in case we need a rescue job. That's a good shout. We know he doesn't rate Potter. He did that with Pellegrini, and he'll cash back for Moyes in January. That's a fair shout. I mean, yeah, business acumen, as they say, but yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Maybe the frustration for Potter, but yeah, we've got to see how this bloke's going to do. That's the key thing, isn't it?
And like I said, if he moves players on, I expect he'll be given some budget.
Hopefully Sullivan will do that. Hopefully he'll have a bit of faith in him. Wakey, Burdick Road was my go-to as well. Yeah, they're all saying the same thing. Nick's saying the same. Gary saying, plus, are we going to have a team to take to America? Whew.
Do we need to go? Can't we have more local games?
I know. I just see the next comment Harry's put.
Go on, I can't see the comments. I've gone widescreen.
He's gone. It's like watching 2 old men in a care home reminiscing. Oh man, mine too. Yeah. Oh,
I think we should rename the show. Call it the Cuckoo's Nest.
Maybe for next season we'll look at doing that. Good shout from Frog. Yeah, could write Ghost some Manzies pie and mash and liquor. Fucking ain't Marvin now. Yeah, tell me about it, Frog. Yeah. Manzies. Yeah.
I actually preferred G Kelly on what in Bow. What's it called? Damn, I've forgotten the
Robbins.
Eh?
Robbins?
No.
Kelly's?
Yeah, G Kelly's is. I like them. Their food.
Yeah, you got a Kelly's in Debden.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to see the West Ham boys stop off there first of all, and then park up, eat, and then clear off to the game. There was one in North Wealdon there, but he's gone there, which is a shame because that was quite decent.
Adam has just messaged me from Dad's Our Job, asking if he can come in quickly.
Yeah, do you want to send him the link?
Yeah, I'll send him the link.
The right one. Nick saying, lived on Eric Street, just off of Bowcommon Lane. Love that place. Miss Wakey shouting it. A little old man crept me up. Bloody hell. Devon's Road as well, usual, yep. Bloody hell, small world, yep.
Right, I've sent him the link.
Thank you, mate. The missus come from Ken Robert Street, so up not far from you two as well.
Yeah.
Terence saying, you're right, Budgie. Show me a chippy you can get a blooming spam fritter.
Yeah. I mean, like you go up Midlands and up north and that, you can get bloody Mars bar fritters and stuff, but you can't get a spam fritter anywhere in the world now. Well, you probably can, but you know,
you got to go more up north where they kind of fry anything, chocolate bars, you name it, they put it in there basically. Abby's back in again. Oi, still going strong. We are happy.
Yeah. We've been drinking Viagra-laced tea. We can go on all night. Look.
Yeah, look, yeah. That's what Harry say. The boys are blue pilot of the night.
Blue pilling, yeah.
Usual saying, I remember her well. She either liked you or hated you. No in betweens. Gary saying, evening, Cloak and Brew people. That's very kind of you to say that to them. Lone Star saying, budget, if you want fajitas, tortillas, barbacoa, quesadillas, tamales, right tasty. God, Lone Star, that sounds really nice. Nick saying, she used to give us a bag of crackling batter and a roll for free after football over Mile End when we were kids.
Yeah.
Lone Star saying, I've got a cramp at third place. I ought to be second as an Arsenal fan. Keep the comments coming in, Lone Star. You might get there.
Yeah. And if you go into first, don't worry, somebody will overtake.
Let's bring him in as well. Let's see what kind of food choices he's got. Good evening, sir. How are we?
Mate, how you doing? You good?
Yeah,
right,
good.
mate,
All good.
Oh, God, I am shagged. I'm not going to lie. I'm tired.
How did your chat with Keith Hackett go?
Interesting. Very, very interesting. You know what? I've come away with a lot of respect for the guy. I know West Ham have a very colourful past with him with a certain decision of Tony Gale, but after hearing the circumstances behind it, his decision making, he basically said, "Shit, I've got to send you off because otherwise I'll lose my job." To Tony Gale. So yeah, we've got a good understanding of that, and I'm sure those now, let's say, how old is it now? Almost 30 years since it happened, isn't it?
Yeah, I was 18 foot away from that when it happened.
Yeah, but so was my old man. My old man was there, and my dad hates him. But I think after he hopefully watches our video, he can kind of sway him a little bit. But I'll tell you what, you go onto our channel, you have a look at that video, and it's definitely enlightened me in terms of what the Premier League is actually missing from a referee like him, because you miss old school thinking, whereas I think too many people now, there's too many layers as to their decision making process. So ideally you just want to be cutthroat through experience. And I'm trying to push it as much as I possibly can, because it was so insightful. Like, the guy's lived such a career. He's gone to Checkpoint Charlie, and he's had to cross certain divisions of Germany just to referee a football game. He had to go to Poland for political reasons in terms of his decision making as a referee for doing games. He's gone to the Eastern Europe. He's gone to America to referee games like Rodney Marsh, Bobby Moore, Pele, and stuff. So it's honestly, like, I didn't realise he had all that ammunition to him, and what he was saying, he's very justified in the way he comes across. And I think we need someone like him in the game today to be able to get rid of all this shit VAR decisions.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Amazing 2 hours with him. Honestly, I was expecting 45 minutes and then a couple of oranges, and that was it. But we got 2 hours out of him, and he's, what a fella, what a guy.
Great. That's great.
It's good. It's changed.
Just a reminder for anyone who doesn't know who you are, Adam. Tell us who you are and what your channel's called and that.
Well, you don't know me?
What? No, the people in the chat, son, not me.
Well, people in the chat don't know who I am. No, I'm joking. So my name's Adam. Yeah, there's a few Deses I could be associated with. Des O'Connor, maybe. No, but my name's Adam. I run Dad's Our Job podcast. I run it with two fellow dads. We all live in the same housing estate in Halstead, Essex. We all met for our partners and our young toddlers. As they were all doing baby yoga classes, the dads were meeting up outside waiting for them to finish. And one day we decided to meet for a few beers at Christmas. The cicadas were flowing, and a passing comment said, "We should do a podcast. Have you heard that podcast? That's shit. We should do that." Now, whatever. And then we took the plunge. We've done it. So this is where we are. 135 subscribers on YouTube now. I've almost 300 video content that we've put up. And we've just finished series 1 tonight. So series 2 will start in a few weeks' time.
Brilliant, mate. Well done.
Brilliant. And you finished it off on a high with Keith Hackett. So
Keith Hackett, yeah. We're trying to get more interviews like that. We're trying to get, because what we want to try and do is highlight the parent aspect of professionals. You know, obviously they do a job and they get criticism that are only very not narrow-minded, but we only think of them for one thing. Like everyone thought Keith Hackett as the guy sending Tony Gale off, but we've had a 2-hour chat with him today, and we've understood that he's a dad, he's a granddad, he's a professional. He has innovated the game in so many more ways than we thought. He's more than just one red card decision, and we're trying to get ex-pros on. We've had Darren Blewett on our show, and basically he told us about his troubles and struggles, being let go from West Ham and trying to find a coping mechanism with that, and to see how he is now is brilliant, because it's a journey for him in his life beyond football. So it's understanding that. We've had Kieran Maguire, finance football expert, on. Evening.
good stuff. All good stuff.
And we've had Kieran Maguire on, football finance guru and expert, price of football, and he literally opened up to us. And after the interview we had with him was like we were shocked, because he opened up about his divorce. He opened up about he's got an estranged relationship with his daughter. He's got an autistic son. And I was like, blimey, where's all this come from? And he felt that our podcast gave him a platform to open up and talk about his family. He always talks about how much Man United are earning, or how much Arsenal are bringing through the gates, how much West Ham are supposed to have spent. And he don't talk about his kids, and he found it really refreshing that he could spend an hour of his time talking about something he loves outside the game. And that's what we want to try and do, really. And we talk shit about football, so.
We do that all the time. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's it. We just try and be a bit more niche than other shows, that we respect all the fellow Hammers channels and stuff. We always interact with them, and it's a good network, and we just try and offer something slightly different.
Yeah, good.
Well, I might be able to help you out with a couple of guests, so we'll talk about that another time.
I appreciate that, Budge. We want you on as a guest as well, mate, because we want to know all about the Ducks Arse, inside the Ducks Arse, what you got. So.
I've got a lot of heartache, mate. I promise you that.
Good evening, Leon, as well. Good to see you in there. And he's saying hello to the Amazon Line people as well. Everyone's saying hello to you as well there, Adam. So evening, dads. And they're saying hello to each other as always.
You'll hate me. Guess what I'm drinking?
Oh no! Oh no!
He's kickstarted off already. Terence is saying, am I the only one who gets all the tomato sauce, brown sauce, mustard, mayonnaise from Wetherspoons? Can't leave without a top up. Sticky fingers, Terence. We know that one. Yeah.
Terence. I'm the same when I stay in hotels. I've got to nick the soap on the hairnet. I've got no use for a hairnet, and my hair's going. So
you've got more than me, and a little bit more than what Badger's got. So you're doing all right there. No.
You haven't seen the back end of my back yet. Did you?
I bet I got more towels than the Hilton, though.
Nick, thanks for coming to the show and making some comments. Really enjoyed that as well. Enjoyed the show, gents. Going to get some shit eye. Well, someone should mean shut eye. And up at 4 night. Shit eye. That's a good one. That's the word.
I thought that's code for sleep, isn't it? Sleep in your eye like that.
It could be. That's the word. Scraps. That's the word I'm looking for. Bag of scraps a pound.
What's this topic? The food stuff?
Oh, we was talking about Indian at one point. You know, Nick started off with Indian. We went on to other kind of Chinese, and then we went on to fish and chips. And because Terence has been out for a Ruby this evening. Terence started it all off.
Right. Okay. I see. You know what? How hard is it now to get two things. How hard is it to find a good Chinese takeaway nowadays? And how expensive are they now? I think I paid £9.50 for a chow mein the other day, and I'm like, what's the point?
Right. Well, it's like kebabs, isn't it? Kebabs in there, like, 20 odd quid just for one. Nah, I ain't going down that road. Shit,
no.
Yes, well, they did. Yeah, it used to be for free. She's put pig pie. Oh man, let's just catch up on this before we kind of wrap it up. Evening, Harry Frog, and usual. Gary saying health and safety stopped the fried Mars bar as well.
Did they?
Bloody hell. James Bong said, I thought fish would be much better after Brexit, according to Uncle Nigel at least. Yeah, well, of course, Starmer's made a change there, innit? EU can fish now what was for another 12 years, but that's another political statement. Chip loaf, that's the one. Shit. Frog says, they'll stir fry anything you want in Glasgow. That's it, Glasgow. Fried pizza is very popular.
Yeah, it is up in Scotland. I went to Edinburgh last month, and I had a deep fried Mars bar with an iron brew. I couldn't get more Scottish if I tried. But they were actually doing deep fried. You get the mini pizzas that you give your kids.
Yeah.
But they literally just dip that in batter and chuck it in, and then that was it. They called it a pizza crunch, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Roman Road. Yeah.
Roman Road, that's the one, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, Roman Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, so night and yeah, so shit high time we skipped mentioning that. Happy come up for 10 minutes. Oh, I mean, I'm going to put it up there anyway because, just to remind you, he's in here with us.
So, what's your thoughts been on as I'm drinking this piss water, Brewdog? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, it was
down well, was it?
I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
Why so?
Because Brewdog is a designer drink, right? In my opinion, with all these different cans they do.
Mm.
And that appeals to tourists more than it does proper football fans. So I'm disappointed that proper football fans ain't going to be able to go and get a pint of Heineken or whatever now.
Mm.
I'm disappointed, because I enjoyed doing that sometimes,
Mm.
Half time, go down to the bar, get a pint, have a chat,
Do you think they still have the Heineken bar outside the stadium?
Well, the Heineken bar, I don't think they will be able to change that because that's under a different... That stuff outside is run by the same company, but it's not... well, I say run by the same company. There's a leasing company that lease all those plots out. Or rent them or whatever. And including the ones inside. But the ones inside the stadium are the ones that are governed by the deals and the partnerships that
Delaware North, isn't it?
Whereas the ones outside are more free to... I mean, like that. There is actually a one of the things outside the stadium that does Brewdog. So.
Thanks, Brendan.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you said Brewdog attracts the tourists because I know that there's a Brewdog pub in Upminster.
Yes.
So I don't know how many tourists Upminster brings nowadays, but
well, no. True.
I know the crumpled on. I know that's in trouble at the minute because of that. But yeah, I mean, I like the variation of beers that Brewdog do. I like the German stuff. I like the Pilsner stuff, and the wheat beer. I do like German stuff over British stuff. Sorry, guys, but it's interesting how it's come about, isn't it? Because obviously there's a lot of hate between the Jamie Watt ownership and his sort of unfair employee strategy, which has gone down like a sack of shit.
Yeah.
But Brewdog, from I've done a bit of homework.
Yeah,
I think West Ham Network are going to do something on this week. That Brewdog are actually owned by an American firm, 83% by TSG Consumer Partnership, and they're an American investment fund.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how much connection maybe Trip Smith has got involved in it. Maybe that this is another gateway of an American investor coming in, especially with New Balance coming in next summer.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what.
Have they decided who the new shirt sponsor's going to be yet?
No, not sponsor. No. So I think Ball Sports will be next season, but season after, I don't know. But I know New Balance will be the new kit supplier after next season.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. New Balance are an American company as well, aren't they?
They are.
They are indeed.
They are. I think from the Boston area as well, and they've got close links with Fenway Group because they do a lot of baseball stuff. New Balance. And
I mean, look, I got no objection because if the quality of the materials and that is good, then and the designs on the shirts are good, then I'm happy. You know, obviously I love the traditional claret with the blue sleeves. I love it. You know, but also equally the home shirt that we had with all the
graffiti.
Yeah. I actually like that shirt. I really do like that shirt.
I grew to love it because of what that shirt represented that season.
And even the white shirt with the flames, you know, forged in fire.
Yeah.
I'm half tempted just to buy the little baby kit just so that I can have one on my wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I'd rather do
that's the
that
thing.
than spend like the 90 quid on a top, which is what they're coming out at now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem. I think the price of kits now are just through the roof. I mean, I can't remember the last time I bought a kit properly. It might have been the COVID year, maybe because they were just selling them so cheaply. I think I bought two that season and that was it. But I haven't bought a recent one since. I think even my daughter's kit has had to come from a
other source.
DH Gate sort of thing. For 13 quid I can get the entire kit with a name on the back, and she grows out of it in 2 minutes, and then I've wasted 90 quid if I bought the proper stuff. And it's it is hard. It is hard, like, especially being a family man. If you've got more than one kid and they all want the latest kits, they want all three of them, and you're whacking 270 quid down on kits, aren't you?
That's right.
For one kid.
In that respect, I was quite lucky because my two eldest, my two adopted kids, their dad is a Geordie, so they were always kind of Newcastle fans as young kids because their real dad was. But my two both followed their mum being Chelsea fans, and I refused to buy a Chelsea shirt. So I never, ever, ever had to buy my kid's shirt. Really
So that's how you get around it. You bury someone that supports someone else, and then you adopt kids that support someone else, and you don't have to buy a kit.
Kids, I've got a
strategy.
picture of all of them four in a West Ham top.
Yeah.
All four of them. I actually had my son Jack in a West Ham shirt for about 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Liam's watched your podcast anyway. So he said it was really good. He enjoyed that as well. Says, who is this? Because obviously, yes, and not, Adam has been in the chat. He has been in the chat, but it is good to have him on the channel as well. So pleased with that.
And the podcast he does is all good stuff.
Of course it is. I've watched.
Thank you, Budge. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Lemon with a trimmed haircut.
Pepsi, look, but it was Keith Lemon with a trimmed haircut.
Don't, mate. You know what, right? When I was at when I was at college, for my 18th, we studied construction because I'm an architect by trade, and he for my 18th birthday he bought me a little squirrel. I don't even think Keith Lemon was that, but he bought me a little squirrel, and I think it was Bo Selector where you had the Avid Marion. Thank you, please. And I'd have like a neck brace on, and he bought me this little squirrel, and that was Neville. I was the ginger squirrel, Neville. Fuck off, you knob jockey. Thing. Yeah, I do get a resemblance. Yeah,
I'm gonna be driving around Alston now, just looking out for you, Adam. Like shout out from the distance. Don't worry about that. Lewis, as usual, when I go to a new place, I have to try a local grub. Of course, you've got to do that. Sean, good to see you as well. Nice one. Caught you at the start. Good. Nice to see you. Frog said, the equivalent of brawn in Montreal, Quebec delicacy, pig's brains with onions. Fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound good, is it? Leon's he's saying this is Adam off the Dads of Podcast channel, fellow Hammer channel. Good stuff. There you go.
Thank you. We try.
As he said, don't tell me refs are human. Some are, unfortunately.
Honestly, Lone Star, give it a watch. It might change you. It might change your opinion. It's definitely changed me.
They're going back to Harry's Cafe Commercial Road. Yes, used to serve broad sandwiches. Leo said Lone Star was going on the roasting, but it was interesting. There you go. Convinced him as well.
Leon was going to also ask him a question. So
did Kieran turn up, by the way, Adam?
No, he didn't. I did send it to him, but he might be still asleep, Budge.
Yeah, probably.
Or he's been eaten by a crocodile.
Oh yeah, poor old
Yeah. Talking about food, still just going to get to this, and we're going to wrap it up because obviously I've still got to do a bit of swatting up for me interview tomorrow. Chain restaurant around the mill, not too bad. Yeah, a lot of places are closing. Ponderosa's used to be in Florida. There's some nice stuff there.
Yeah, I remember Ponderosa's. It's funny because we used to go. Didn't get a word in. We used to go as a family when we went to like Disney, and we went in there about half 10. And we was in there for about an hour or so, and there was a guy there who stayed in that Ponderosa from 10:30, and he stayed there all the way through the afternoon. So he had breakfast and lunch in one sitting.
Jeez.
So he had like pancakes and sausage and stuff. It was massive, this geezer. Pancakes and sausage, unlimited coffees, and then he'd click over to lunchtime, and he'd go, right, okay, fried chicken, ribs.
Wow. These places, Budge, if you've never ever been to one of them, basically you come into the entrance and there's a wall of pictures of all food. Some will do unlimited soft drinks and this and the other, and you pay for that's your main meal. And then they'll sit you down, and all of a sudden they say, right, you can help yourself to the eat what you want buffet. And then your main course comes up. You can stuff yourself silly. Absolutely silly.
I wouldn't be able to. I ain't got a very big appetite, I've got to be honest.
Imagine Harvester on steroids.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it.
With meat instead of salad.
Yeah. Frog saying, nice to put a face to a pseudonym or however it's spelled. No, you did pretty well on that one. Iron Disciple, good to see you as well. Red Lobster is about to be a chain called Nautical Refined Cheddar Biscuits. Leon saying there's a Ponderosa in Northern Ireland. It is the highest restaurant in Ireland up a mountain.
Wow.
You say his name and he shall appear. G'day, chaps. Just woke up. Catch it later, Adam.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
There you go. Poor old sod. At least he ain't been eaten by a croc, eh?
Yeah, that's it. That's what we can go to sleep now.
Well, if Harry was here, and he'd be asking about Beaver Watch because obviously he moved on to Croc Watch. He wants to know what Beaver Watch is all about.
Yeah.
That's other different Beaver. What he's talking about.
Jordan, big up to yourself. Hey, Tony, hope you're doing well, Jordan. Good to see you, matey. And other than that, Adam, it's been a pleasure having you jump on.
Thanks a lot for bringing me on, even if it was short and sweet. We're trying to do something a bit more substantial in weeks to come, I suppose.
Of course. Damien, always a pleasure. And he says, my one comment for the night, West Ham are shit. Have a nice night. Damien, pleasure as always. Thanks for coming,
Damien.
mate.
Adam, been a pleasure as always, mate. Nice to see you, mate.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for bringing me on.
Excuse me.
You have to ask Harry Monk, Iron Disciple, when you see him. Beaver Watch, that's what he looks for. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having him on. Good day, Kieran and Zane as well. And Budge, as always, been a pleasure doing this one.
Yeah. Oh, shall I have a little quick look, see who we got for next week?
You can do indeed, mate. Yes.
Hang on.
He's got his
I've got
list.
too much bloody laptops and shit on top of my books. Right. I don't even...
But you're too busy playing FIFA, aren't you?
Oh, well, I have been actually, as it happens.
You should set up a Twitch, mate.
Eh?
Especially with the name Budgie.
You know what? Actually, it's a funny story as to how I got my nickname. All growing up for all my years, up until COVID, right, I was known as Trill. Okay?
As in the fish.
No,
My
Trill,
surname
food,
is Tree Living.
the bird food.
So, yeah.
Oh,
so
wow,
my
I see,
nickname was Trill.
I'm thinking krill.
And I told Happy Amaret that. Shut up, you muppet. I told Happy Amaret that, and she said, "Oh, that's a bird seed, isn't it?" And I said, "Yeah, for budgies." And then she just started calling me Budgie,
Oh, so it's Happy Amaret. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
and it stuck. So hang on, I'm in the wrong book. Here we go. Right, so we
Bills and looks in mirrors.
next week, Martin Allen.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Mad Dog.
Next week, Martin Allen. We're gonna highlight him, have a little chat, and have a little look at it.
Oh, hold on. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on, before we go. Hold on.
I ended up saying budgies are interesting birds, actually. Yeah, yeah,
They are.
not budgie though. Yeah, he hangs up upside down. He hangs upside down.
So I went on a stadium tour with Martin Allen, right? And I wanted an autograph of him, so I had my picture done. And he signed over my face.
Still, all good though, bud. All good.
Yeah, all good. He done it on purpose. He saw it and he went, "I'm signing over your fucking face." I was like, "All right, cheers."
I mean, budgie's not a bird. Oh no, we knew what you meant, but it's funny. And Frog says, "Yeah, it buys things on higher purchase." Oh dear.
Oh
What is it they sharpen their beak on? Is it like a cuttlefish? There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say people's eyeballs, but
See, well, you teach your birds, then that's for sure.
yeah, mate. I'm trying to peck my eyes out.
But as always, people in the chat that's still with us, thanks for hanging around for nearly 3 hours. We all say
What's your name, Peach?
Peach. Well, it's only be a short one. We'll only be a short one. Yeah, 3 hours later.
Thought it
It's
was.
all good. But as I said, it's good to have.
And it was the shortest chat on the Green Street Elites we've had yet.
Oh man.
Oh,
Fucking brilliant. Right, boys and girls, I am out of here.
Same here as well. And that, yeah, I've just got to do a bit more research, and I'm ready for tomorrow. 11
Rightio.
o'clock. 11 o'clock in the morning. Got my interview, so let's see how that goes. Hopefully, all good. Kieran says he shits everywhere. You can feel the love, can't you? And Leon said, "Been a good night on both channels, lads." Leon, as
Thank
always,
you.
pleasure for being
Thank
with
you,
us.
Leon.
You know, we're doing that.
thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you for next week. Frog says here, thanks for the Cresswell get my teeth in retrospective, Budge, he's saying. So that's good. There you go. And thank you very much, Leon. Thank you very much for that as well. And we won't go over an intro because obviously it's nearly 3 hours. So we're just going to say good night. God bless. Enjoy
Come on,
the
you
day tomorrow, and as he said, yeah, come on, you guys.
Good luck tomorrow, Tone.
Thank you very much.
See you later, mate.